can't keep doing the same thing over and over and expect a different result. That's called insanity. Change ain't coming. Tell the people change is here. We taking what is ours. We ain't never scared. We gonna fight for our rights. Ain't no backing out. The Bahamas loving how we got this real blackout. Taking our country back, not living so hopeless. Vote for Lincoln Bain, our Bohemian Moses. A real leader coming with the vision and the plans. Let's take a stand, every Bohemian woman, child, and man. The people can't be crying and hurting and jobless. Don't be fooled, y'all know the parties that cause this. Vote for COI for a change in the office. We fighting for our rights and our natural resources. The people can't be crying and hurting and jobless. Don't be fooled, y'all know the parties that cause this. Vote for COI for the change in the office. We fighting for our rights for our natural resources. Yeah. Stand up and make a change. Yeah. For Bohemians everywhere. We gonna make a change. Change is here. We gotta quit with tradition and let's go forward with a mission to build a better Bahamas for all the children that live in. They sell our country and land and give it to all the foreigners. Keep Bohemians suppressed because they think we're not good enough. So we're making a stand, throw up a fist with a hand. Stand united as one nation under the sun. We the people fighting for the new Bahamas. We bring the facts, but they wanna bring the drama. They can go and put a sign in every corner, but the cry of the people will be louder. Stand up and make a change. For Bohemians everywhere. We gonna make a change. Change is here. Stand up and make a change. For Bohemians everywhere. We gonna make a change. Change is here.
And the Bahamians aren't prepared to stand up and fight and defend their own Bahamas, then you don't deserve to have it.
Now let that sink in. Come on. Change ain't coming, change is here. You can hear it, you can feel it in the air. All politicians, put your hands in the air. Just a stick up, let me make myself clear. I'm a grown man talking, so you know what to do. No one's leaving till we figure out the truth. Why you laughing? This ain't nothing funny. So no one gets to go home till we figure out this money. Change ain't coming, change is here. They say change ain't coming, but change is here. They say change ain't coming, but change is here. They say change ain't coming, nigga, change is here. Now if you ain't standing with us, then I know you against us. Bahamas, this ain't no time for us to be lukewarm. This is war, and we riding through the storm. Come on. Let's go, shalom to all my Hebrew brothers. To all my Muslim and Rastas, we need you, brother. Selassie, I know, I can't forget the Christians. Let's put our differences aside, cause it's a big mission. See, they've been doing it for years, trying to separate us. Kinda trying to keep us down and never elevate us. Now it's time to praise the Lord, cause he's about to take us over to the promised land where we can celebrate us. I got to do it for my kids that on they already gotta check that check, gotta have that time to collect, so they won't know how it feels to have that yoke around their neck. Yeah. See, y'all been robbing my grandmother, my great-great-grandmother and grandfather. It's like y'all can't get enough. Y'all just keep eating and giving us nothing but taxes. Y'all went even as far as to say that this country's in debt and we ain't got no money. But 9 times out of 10, everybody in this country's possibly a millionaire. It's time to wake up. Let's talk about natural resources, cause every time we bring it up, they say hold your horses. They say it ain't worth a thing, but it's worth a fortune. Meanwhile, they open up their businesses across the borders. Oh yes, we track their bank accounts across the waters. They say this country in debt, but they making millions. If we don't stop this now, they be up to billions. It's about to go down and I get the feeling we gotta cut a movie on these dirty villains. On this Lincoln Bain and his team came with information. It's like everything changed, everything went quiet. It's like so much facts and they can't deny it. They'd rather keep their mouths shut before they start a riot. Now look how they tryna just steal the oil. They don't wanna share with none of y'all. They been robbing us while we were sleeping. Send them to jail cause they failed, they committed treason. Change ain't coming. They say change ain't coming. The change is here. They say change ain't coming. The change is here. They say change ain't coming. Nigga, change is here. Listen, from Freeport to Nassau all the way to Nawa. There's no more time for us to sit back and be quiet. You understand? This is war. If they only knew who we were, if they only know who we are, they would know we are warriors. No retreat, no surrender. Just give us what you owe us. Bless the Lord, oh my soul. I feel this all the way to my ancestors. We are warriors. We only really want what's owed to us. You get it? Now free up.
Good afternoon, Bahamas, and welcome to a new day, a new Bahamas, a new Bahamian, a new you. The Bahamas, we got some serious stuff to talk about today, and we need to have some serious conversations today. We're going to expose what's really been going on in this country. We need to have this conversation today, Bahamas. Today, we're going to ask you to do what you're supposed to do when you get on here. The media doesn't want this word to get out there to you. And so you know what you have to do. You have to make sure you spread this word. You have to make sure you get this word out there. So take a minute while I'm doing it, you do it. Please take a minute to share this live to make sure that the Bahamian people understand what's going on. They say the Bahamas is broke. We got billions of dollars in carbon credits sitting down waiting on us. Our entire national debt could be gone. We're going to show you this at the end of this broadcast. If you're interested in seeing the numbers, then you stay with us. You call your friends and family who's been doubters, who's been doubting. You let them know that this is the one for them to watch. We are going to show you the carbon credits, the value of it, the markets, what we could be making, why none of us have to be in debt, why none of us have to be suffering. We're going to show you that carbon credits is worth more than gold. It's worth more than Bitcoin. It's worth more than oil. And we're going to let the experts say it. We're going to let you hear the experts say exactly what the situation is as it relates to our carbon credits. Because somehow, you know, if your skin is too dark, then it kind of means that maybe what you're saying might not be true. But we're going to let some other people tell you what's really going on with carbon credits. And we have the most valuable type of carbon credits. And we want you to hang in for that. Get all your friends and family on here. Take a minute and go and share. Share this. Take some time to go in Messenger and share this throughout Messenger. Your friends might not have Facebook. You can go on our YouTube page. I think it is now our Coalition of Independence YouTube page we're broadcasting from. If not, it's on our Bahamian Evolution. They can put up the one that is up there for you. But guess what? Most of all, you can call in during this show and you can speak your piece. No matter what you're going through, we're going to open this up for you. You can call if you have an issue, if your workplace, something is going on, if you're seeing corruption anywhere, call and state your piece. Or you can call and comment on anything that we're talking about. Today is a special day for me. And it's you know, this week is normally a week that I don't look forward to. And that's because I lost someone very special on the 7th of February, 2017. I lost my dear mother. It meant a lot to me. She is the person who taught me how to speak up for myself. She was the first entrepreneur that I ever met. She was, you know, the first person I loved. Her and my father, really, really close with my father. Her name was Willamette Poitier, and many of you may know her as Miss P. Miss P was one of the greatest cooks this country had ever seen. That's how there with my son. Miss P, you would know her from the palm tree. The palm tree back in the day where they made those amazing hamburgers. Miss P was the one who gave the palm tree their reputation and taught everyone there who worked there after how to cook. The person who started Checkers Cafe, she taught them how to cook. Best friend Helen, who was the first cook, who didn't own it. My mother was an entrepreneur. She owned two restaurants, two takeaways in Nassau, one on East Street, one on Nassau Street. And she taught me to be an entrepreneur and to hustle and to make it through. Doctors Hospital asked her to come on board and to assist them with their food because hospitals were known for having bad food, like PMH was. Doctors Hospital got a reputation for having the best food, chef food.
Yes.
They made her the head cook. She was the first head cook. And she gave them that amazing reputation at Doctors Hospital. You know, she was plagued with diabetes and she had several heart attacks, etc. And so she had to retire early in her 40s, actually at my age now. By then, she had created an amazing reputation. She was known for giving and giving to everyone. She was a strong evangelist. And I just want to say that is my mother. I love her. It has been 8 years since she has been gone. Willa Mae Poitier, no middle name. Willa Mae Poitier. Thank you for everything you've done for me. Thank you for every mouth that you've fed in this family. She moved to Exuma and opened Heaven Sent food store. And she used to give food away to people. She used to have days when she just cooked and gave food away in whole village food. And so I just wanted to honor her today. Before we get seriously into this, there are many people in our lives who have had a great impact. There are many heroes who have lived in this country. All heroes are not politicians, and all politicians are not heroes. We need to start recognizing real people in this country. Also, recently, I lost someone else who was my principal for most of my years in school, and that was Charles W. Sanders.
Hold on, Lincoln.
Hold on, what?
You serious?
Yes.
You went to Princeville?
Of course. And you went to Princeville too.
Thank you. What?
I will have no insubordination in my institution. We used to lovingly call him Shaky, but he was one of the most respected men in the history of this country.
Yes.
And he groomed me. I think I was the only student ever passed through Princeville, one of the only, if not, who never get beaten from Shaky.
What?
Reverend Charles Sanders. I never got beaten from Reverend Charles Sanders.
You serious, Lincoln?
My whole time, you got beaten from him?
Of course I did.
You got beaten from Charles Sanders?
Every week.
Listen, when you get beaten from him, that is epic.
Every week.
Is epic. When you get that beating, you will remember that for the rest of your life. Because he gave you a good beating.
Yes,
and he'll say, and you cried and you tried about, go bring your ma, I will cut her hip too. Yes. He was a disciplinarian of disciplinarians. And I just want to thank Reverend Charles W. Sanders for everything he has done for young people in this country, the people he has grown, the pastors he has grown, the churches he has grown, and the young people that he has raised, and the trailblazer that he was. Thank you for everything that you've been to this country and that you've been to all of us. That man was the epicenter of discipline and education in this country. I remember one time, Reverend Charles W. Sanders made us stand up on assembly because one person was reading and they said the word wrong. They said the word look wrong. He said it's not look, it's Luke. When there are two O's, it's Luke.
Yes.
And he made us repeat that word over and over. We almost missed first period. Over and over until we got that right. And then he sent us back. He was a disciplinarian. He taught us. And he meant a lot to us. So for all of our Prince Williamites out there who've come through that real discipline school, who came to that school of education and BBC, they all went through it too. That was the second school that he opened. It was called Bahamas Baptist College, and then they changed it to Charles W. Sanders while he was alive in honor of him. That is a great man who's impacted a lot of Bahamians. Thank you so much.
Lincoln, I cannot go off this live to say something about John Sanders and to all of the students who went there from 76 to 82.
I was born in 76.
Oh my God. I want to say condolence to Charles Sanders' family. and also to the Baptist community, on behalf of all of the students that this man, this great man, had impacted. And trust me, my fellow Bahamians, the day before Charles Sanders passed away, another Prince William student came to my office as a client. And I was giving him the story about Charles Sanders. Bahamians, I was very rebellious. And after I joined the police force, I saw Charles Sanders. And he said, how you doing? I said, fine. I said, you remember me? Charles Sanders and Miss Jackson, Maria Jackson, I would never forget you. I said, why is that? He said, you were the worst female student I ever had. And I opened my eyes and I said, what? He said, I never beat a female as much as I beat you. He said, but I'm glad you changed. And my fellow Bahamians, I'm a product today of what Charles Sanders had taught me about principles. And I picked up on a lot of stuff that he taught me. And trust me, I wanted to be a teacher back then. And I always said, I wanted to be a teacher like Reverend Charles Sanders.
Wow.
He never stayed in that office.
Wow.
All the time. He always was walking around.
And you could tell when, as soon as his foot stepped out of the office, the school would go from loud to quiet.
Thank you.
The teachers were afraid of him. He was such a disciplinarian. One teacher had came there for an interview, and her hair was in one. And Charles, all you could hear is when his lion raw voice started, get out of my office and get out of my school. He ran her out of that school because she came there with her hair in one. She didn't have the decency to set her hair. What kind of example would you be for his students? He ran her out of there. That's the kind of disciplinarian this man was. Remember one time, Simeon Hall, he was the principal there.
Yes.
And Simeon Hall, came in the assembly and he said, man, you all need to behave, man. Because Simeon Hall was more soft.
Yes.
Reverend Brown was more stern, like Charles Sanders.
Yes.
But Winnet Davis and Simeon Hall was more soft. They were also vice principals. And Reverend Hall came, Simeon came on the assembly and he said, I need you all to behave, man. Reverend Sanders tell me, if I don't get you all together, that I could be gone. I could be fired. And let me tell you something. In a week, Simeon Hall was gone. Reverend Charles Sanders don't play.
Yes.
That is a man. You hear me? That is a man of man. We just wanted to get that out of the way. And Simeon Hall was an awesome vice principal.
Yes,
I don't want to take nothing from him. That man was good. He was, he was attentive. He was awesome. I don't want to take nothing from him, by telling, a little bit of history. But the man was good.
He could have beat, but he can't be like Charles Sanders.
No, he beat me plenty.
Yeah.
He beat me plenty.
Okay.
Yeah. Simeon Hall beat me more than my daddy. Yeah. But every time I get sent to the office, Charles Sanders happened to not be there. Thank you,
Jesus.
But ladies and gentlemen, we just wanted to get that out of the way. Thank you for all of you who've contributed to our society and our young people.
Yes.
Now, I want to get to it. We have some stuff to talk about. We're going to start out talking about we're going to talk about the FNM. We have to talk about the media and how the media has been selling out. And we have to talk about some corruption of these politicians and these sellout politicians. We'll see how we get to all of this today. And at the end of this, some of you just joined, you didn't hear me say it. At the end of this, we're going to talk about the billions of dollars of carbon credits that we have in this country. We're going to let you hear why we don't have to be broke, why we don't have to be stressed out that the price in super value is going up, that the price in the food store is going up and you can't afford anything in there, that the price of everything is going up except your actual salary and your wages. And so right now, many are stressed out. They don't know how to pay their rent. We are suffering. But guess what? We don't have to be suffering. Ladies and gentlemen, there's no reason for us to be in the state that we are in. We're the Coalition of Independence, the government right now, we have already started to benefit from our carbon credits and from our natural resources. We're going to break this down and let you hear from the experts themselves.
Yes.
Get your family and friends on here. Let them hear exactly what's going on. It's now starting to come out. Everyone is starting to say, oh, Lincoln Bain looked like he was right.
Yes.
Lincoln Bain looked like he was right. We are right.
We did our research.
I don't ever talk without bringing the facts.
That's right.
Bringing the proof. And the only thing that I am interested in is a Bahamas for Bahamians where we can benefit and we don't have to suffer as a people, man. Is that too much to ask? The Bahamas where Bahamians are first? Is that too much to ask? He is a person fighting for Bahamians, and that's what I'm doing.
Yes.
And also we have someone on the line. We're going to get to that in a minute. Mr. Kai Mills, he's also there, and we're going to bring him in a minute when we start talking about that stuff. Mr. Kai Mills has been fighting for the Bahamian people, and we thank you. So we're going to get to all that in a minute. First, I'm going to start out talking a little bit about the media. Then we're going to get to talk about the FNM corruption. I don't know how much we could do, but K Mills, there's a file with your name on it. All right. There's a K Forbes Smith. Why say Mills? Sorry. It's thing with Mills. There's a COI file with your name on it, with plenty documents that we could drip feed to the Bahamian public. K Forbes Smith, what you did to the Bahamian people is a crime against humanity. We could get there in a minute. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to get this out of the way. You're starting to see how politicians operate. That the media is selling its soul. The media is the fourth estate. They're part of the government. They're an important part of the government, and there should always be freedom of the press. The press should never be interfered with. But now you are starting to see how the media is constantly interfered with, to the point where they are selling their souls. You start to see who sold their soul before election by the positions they get after election. You start to see who sold their soul. You know, for months before the election, actually for years, we saw the actions of Clint Watson. And we saw.
But I like Clinton.
I like him too.
He did a good job with
He did a very good job dealing with the FNM.
Excellent job.
Where I have a problem, because I'm going to always speak truth to power. Where I have a problem is when you are one-sided with it. You cannot be one-sided. If you see corruption in the PLP, you speak about that also. You don't just say what's going on with the FNM. As a media, you should speak for the people no matter what it is. When there was something the FNM did that the PLP also did, I have no mention of what the PLP did. We just deal with the FNM. And it's understandable to a certain point because the FNM was in power at that time. But if you did this and got rewarded for what you did, then that is corruption. That cannot be accepted in the New Bahamas. That cannot be accepted in our society. We're now starting to see all of these. I started to see when Clint, started to promote heavily, certain things at the PLP, when he started to attack us live on air and what we were doing. You started to see it. He sold himself. And now many of the things that he proposed, and this is where the problem comes in, Maria, many of the things that he supported and promoted, or spoke out against, now all of a sudden, those things are acceptable.
Like what?
The cabinet, the media always has access to the cabinet.
I agree.
All right? Always has access to the cabinet. They should never be blocked from the cabinet. Listen to me. When you look at U.S. news, now I was going to pull these clips up for you, but I didn't want to take too much time. When you look at the U.S. media and first world media, Canada, you look at England, etc., Australia, yes, they will park on your lawn,
yes,
Mr. Politician, and be outside with the mics waiting on you.
Yes.
On your house lawn.
They did it in England all the time to those politicians.
In England, when I was in school in England, they used to pull up on number 10 Downing Street.
Thank you.
They had a particular politician who was drunk all the time. They said they went to his house and showed him coming out his house staggering and trashing him. You supposed to be a member of parliament. Then they did a big, a documentary on him.
Yes.
That's the media's job to keep them in check. The media, yes, the media is the mediator.
Thank you.
The mediator between the government and the people.
Yes.
That's their job.
Yes.
And the opposition is also a part of the government. So the media is also supposed to keep them in check. So if you are in the media and you are only hitting the government and not the opposition, no, that is not it. The government is everyone who is in the upper and lower chambers. They constitute the government. The cabinet is the persons appointed by the prime minister, but everyone in the government, every member of parliament is a part of the government. That is how it works. And And the media's job is to hold all of them in check. And so now many things, you see the hypocrisy of persons like Clint Watson and what they're doing. Again, I'm going to speak the truth. I have no problem with Clint Watson. Clint Watson has been my friend from I was a young man.
Yeah, can't talk about him neither.
All right? But I will tell you that what is happening is wrong. And I will tell you that, Clint, because you spoke out against wrong when you saw it. And I will tell you that now that you are in the government, a part of the government, because you are press officer, you are being paid by us. It's our job now to criticize you just like you criticize everyone else in government. So don't get thin-skinned when people speak their opinion of you because you are a public figure and the laws allows public figures to be spoken out against. We saw other persons in the media. We saw during that election, the entire media blocked us, blockaded us. They didn't want our message to get out there. They even went to one of our protests, Maria.
Yes.
I was there, I was speaking. Our news, for example. You see, two of them got positions now. I was there, you know, speaking. We had protests on Russell Square, Maria. They showed other people speaking and then acted like I wasn't there.
Right.
Not a word. They didn't show a word that I said. They showed some people talking about something else at our protest and pretended we weren't there. They went when we went to help those people who were victims of the fire in Fortescue Dock. We went there, help those people clean up. What a news media reported that the people cleaned up themselves. No mention of us or that we were there. This is what they do to try to hold the truth. When the media starts to become corrupt, the entire nation is corrupted because there's no voice of the people. There's no voice. And now you start to see, I saw Giorgio Bain is one of them who got a position. I had spoken on one of my lives because they did a story right after the election. I don't remember what the story was about. But she did a story after the election and she said that she couldn't get in contact with us, never called me, couldn't get in contact with us.
But everybody know how to get in contact with you, like.
And when she said when she came to our headquarters, nothing was there, like it was abandoned. She tried to give the impression that we shut down and we gone. And we've been here every day.
I was about to say.
From election to now. Every single day we've been here. All right? Except Christmas Day and New Year's Day. Every single day we've been here. But when we saw that twist in the story that tried to give a negative spin, we said, okay, watch Giorgio Bain get in position after election. And just like we thought, here we go. We saw Nahaja Black, who was constantly attacking us, constantly saying things against us. Now she's getting a position. This is how politics operates, okay? We saw Nahaja Black and what she was doing. And we also saw Chris, what's his name? The other Chris guy he's not in media. He was working at the University of Bahamas. They had this fake debate that they decided to come up with. It was a PLP debate and it was a PLP plan that they decided to do. The two of them got positions in this government who put that fake debate together. Both of them got positions in this new government. Serious? Yes. The Chris guy went at the museums and monuments or whatever that is. He's put in charge of that. Nahaja Black was put in charge in Canada. And so this is what happens when media sells out. This is why we have a banana republic and a country where, you know, we can't, you know, get any better because we have people who sell their souls for personal gain. Now, are they qualified for those positions? Yes, of course. But there are a lot of people qualified. We should not, and then that's what they do. They normally say, listen, do this for me, and I can find one job that you qualify for to put you in, so no one can cry when I put you there. This should not be happening in this country. The media, I'm calling on all media to do what's right and do what is just. Do what is right and do what is just. To stand up for the Bahamian people, like we're standing up for the Bahamian people. Don't muzzle persons who are standing up for the Bahamian people and speaking out for our natural resources. Nothing will stop us from speaking out for our natural resources. And I'm going to leave that there for now. There's much more I want to say on that, but I'm going to leave that there for now because we got to talk about the corruption in this government. Because the government lines itself up by buying out media, making sure they have their media people in place to make sure that they get a voice out there and no one else gets a voice out there. And that's why we have these. That's why you got to share with your friends and family. if you want this change, you gotta be the ones promoting this. You gotta spread this change. You gotta make this happen. We can't do it alone because they are going to buy and pay anyone to make sure that you continue to be slaves to them. And it's corruption. Kai Mills is going to join us now. And one thing I could tell you about Kai Mills, myself, and Maria, that we have been fighting for the Bahamian people. You know what all of us have in common? We've been persecuted wrongly for fighting.
Locked up, charged,
false charges, fake charges.
police station, harass, everybody.
First thing they do, I'll say this, no one has ever made change in this world without them using the courts against them, without going to jail.
Not
no
the
one
gate, that's right.
ever made change in this world. Not even the disciples.
Yes.
Not even Jesus Christ himself.
Yes.
Martin Luther King.
Yes.
No one has made any real change because the people who are in power use the courts and the court system to their advantage to try to crush you.
That's right.
Marcus Garvey tried to empower Black people. They make you forget about him. They don't even tell his story. Empower Black people. And they charge him with fraud, some fake charge. And after he was, discredited, they discredited him.
Yes.
Mahatma Gandhi, locked up. He said, listen, yeah, I know I'm innocent. I know these fake charges, but I'm not going to plead. I'm not guilty. He said, y'all lock me up. He said, I want to go to jail. He said, I'm going to do time in jail for what y'all are doing to my people. Bahamas, you got to be ready to stand up for a cause. And to be ready to stand up for a cause, you got to be willing to die for a cause. I will tell you what the Coalition of Independence is standing up for. We are standing up for Bahamians.
That's right.
Real Bahamians. I am a 10th generation Bahamian. Bahamians all through and through my bones.
That's right.
Through and through my bones. Bahamian. I ain't none of nobody else. I am Bahamian. All through my bones. I can fight for Bahamians. And so now we have a situation, Maria. Let me introduce, before I get there, let me introduce a man that I respect, who has been abused by police officers, has probably been sued a couple of times on false stuff, who's gone through all kind of abuse. I'm going to introduce to you Mr. Kai Mills. Welcome, Kai.
My brother, welcome. Welcome to you. Glad that I'm in here. Welcome. Hello, Bahamas. It's been a long day, a long night, but I'm still here holding on. Good night.
Thank you, man. Welcome. Just want to congratulate you for everything that you've always done for the Bahamian. And a lot of people, they look at you and they don't know the struggle that you have to go through and the sacrifice. And, you have your own bills and they start to block you and block your business. And anything they can find on you, they'll blow it out of proportion and they'll beat you down and persecute you. And to stand up, like you and Maria are standing up, I want to congratulate you all to keep doing what you're doing. Please. Now, we are here today to talk about the corruption that has gone on, the corruption that has happened under the previous FNM government. And the reason we are doing that is because this evil woman, I will say that no differently than that, hear me to court. This evil, wicked woman has decided to sue the Bahamian people. Now, this ain't the Bahamian people, yes, the taxpayers. And this ain't about who right and wrong in her lawsuit. We don't, that's not here or there. We ain't here to talk about that in the courts. But we here to talk about her deeds as a public figure.
Thank you.
That's what we here to talk about.
A contracting public figure. Now,
you were there in Abaco. You are a survivor of Dorian, and her job was to resolve what happened in Dorian, to make everything better. Disaster recovery. How did you feel when you saw that she filed a lawsuit against the Bahamian people?
Well, Lincoln, y'all are just playing catch up to what I knew when she first came on board. This girl, by admission of the Prime Minister, deemed herself a god under the FNM. When she came into Abaco, you had defense force and police officers. 10, 15 of them ran with her. And when the prime minister came in, he didn't have that kind of detail. Kay Forbes Smith was overpaid and she underperformed. She did nothing to improve the quality of life for Aberconians. And when you see this massive salary, she's an indication of many that were underperforming and got big contract with the cleanup. But we're talking about corruption. I saw the FNM new the leader of the FNM, Pintard. His only thing he's talking about is marital rape. I have never seen marital rape cause so many death in this country like guns. And the other thing that he should be focused on is corruption, but he's into marital rape. But back to Kay Forbes Smith.
Let me pause back before you go back to Kay Forbes. While you're talking about, Michael Pintard, you were talking about corruption in the media and that kind of stuff. I just want to make this clear to all FNMs watching this, because many of them are watching this right now. All right, just saying PLB, just the FNMs who are watching this. They decided to make Michael Pintard the leader of the FNM. Michael Pintard was the person who was behind We March. Michael Pintard and John Bostwick together decided to come up with this idea for We March because the FNM couldn't get any traction at the time. So they had to start something to pretend it wasn't the FNM, but it was just people who loosely, was there. And they brought on that other sellout, Reynard Henfield. Okay? And all of this was done from FNM headquarters. And they decided to do this and come together and do this kind of operation. And Pintard was the person who was the orchestrator behind all of this. Okay? And that is a person who deceived the entire Bahamian public. And I know Reynard Henfield got a lot of the flack because of it, but Pintard was the person behind that, just like he was the person behind Bahamas News Mobile, which also was founded in FNM headquarters.
You serious?
Yes, I was, and I've challenged Jamal Moss, who was the person who assisted Michael Pintard in starting Bahamas News Mobile, that was showing all those dead bodies of people's family members and all that out there all this time, and putting stories out there on people, and doing this kind of stuff. It was Pintard who was behind all of this. All right. And I say that without reservation, that Pintard was behind it, and I was in the office at one point when some of this stuff was being discussed. And I was disgusted, by what I saw. And if that is the man that you who deceive the Bahamian public, you are going to trust, I have no interest in that. All right. We need a new Bahamas. And so these are the people who keep selling us out to make sure that their people win, so they continue the rape and robbery of this country. We got to speak out and be strong, man.
That's right.
We need a real change in this country, man. No more tricks, man. You're going to swing from Brave them to Pintard them next time, and then we get tricked again. That's another 10 years going down the drain. Soon all of us will be dead, and our children now suffering, can't pay their bills. I'm sorry for interrupting you, but I thought I should bring that out. Kay Forbes Smith.
We're talking about corruption. If we found out that Kay Forbes Smith got millions of dollars, what is the Progressive Liberal Party prepared to do? We already know of corruption, and I remembered a week after the FNM won, they put Shane before the courts. We got all this stuff on Kay Forbes Smith that she is blatantly underperformed, never built one house. The DRA was a disaster in itself. It was embarrassing even today. But when it comes to corruption, how do we make it right for the Bahamian people? We have the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Darren Henfield, said in House Assembly that he got $1 million from the Indians. We haven't seen $1 of $1 million is a lot of money. What happened to that $1 million that he proclaimed that he got from the Indian government as minister? If these guys,
people still living in domes.
they dome till Christ come. They still in dome. Front Street understand domes. As soon as somebody get out of the dome, if they're lucky enough, somebody else is trying to get in the dome. As soon as somebody get out of the trailer, somebody else is fighting for that same old dirty mildew trailer. We have got no help since 2019. Everybody took the money. There was massive monies. So what happens with that? Because the foreign people saw the corruption firsthand. Who are they going to trust? Are they going to trust this government with monies? They're not going to trust anybody because the FNM was so blatant, underperformed, took the money, and never. This is the hurtful part. These guys have not built one single home in Abaco. They started 5 homes, but the Progressive Liberal Party stopped the building on them while the need for housing is out of the door. But the corruption that exists in this country, we'll be like Somalia, the pirates of Somalia. You already got yours. Now it's my time to get mine. They're not concerned about stamping out corruption, which is the most serious thing in this country besides murder, is corruption at the top. Who and when is it going to be stamped out? We can talk about it all we like. But
Guy, how did you feel when you saw how much money K. Forbes Smith was making? Because you get into some papers now. How did you feel when you saw how much she was making?
When I heard that she was making in the beginning, I heard that she was making when she first left the Senate, she was making $150,000. I said that was more than the ministers was making. And at the time, Harm Lewis with his little big self, he's the minister, and K. Forbes Smith was making more than him and have more power than him. Harm Lewis never even came to Abaco while he was minister. K. Forbes Smith came in, had one meeting in the church, and we never seen anything from her. I thought it was overpaid, overkill, because they were more concerned, the FNM government was more concerned on making sure that their people came to Abaco and take what was Abaconians. They weren't concerned about Abaco being rebuilt. They were concerned about making sure that their people get this huge payday when we were still sleeping in cars and in tents. And we're still in domes, and we're still in tents. But what is going to happen with the corruption? That's why K. Forbes Smith is so brazen to sue the government, because she feels that she has an entitlement. She never cared about Abaco or Grandbaba's people. She's cared about us. And that's why she put this lawsuit forward, because it shows her greed. Utter greed. It's never been about helping the people of Abaco. It was all about helping K. Forbes Smith. Even after the FNM has lost, she believed that she has some entitlement for this money that she underperformed and shouldn't have gotten in the beginning.
Thank you.
Wow. Maria.
So the question is, Lincoln, the question is, if we find out about all this corruption, as we know, as I know, what is this new government prepared to do? Shelve it? Leave it alone? Only thing can stamp out the corrupt. I've been in court, I've been in jail for just doing videos, just for speaking of the corruption. I am in court now because I speak about the corruption. They kidnapped me on the streets. I got locked up 10 times, and almost time y'all got locked up for the election. So you couldn't campaign, Lincoln. You couldn't campaign freely because you're looking over your shoulder to see when the defense force or the police is gonna come and lock you up just because you speak about the corruption. This country is so lost that you can't even speak about corruption. You see, one thing you said now, all the media, the top medias that could speak about corruption, they are now silenced because they're now working for the government. So who left to speak about the corruption, what's going on? They got everybody working for the Progressive Liberal Party. I guess you could get a package next, and I'm gonna be off a package next to just be silent.
And I made that clear to them from the beginning.
How could this be so bad in this country that everybody, like you said, your story never got out? my story never got out. Because you see why? Because the persons that were supposed to be neutral and speaking on this and speaking for us and interviewing us, they were working against us to make sure that we didn't get in. We were working against 2 or 3 elements, and an element that's supposed to be the free press was the press that was choking us behind our back. And it's evident.
Guys, while people in Abaco were suffering, wasn't getting their money as was promised, because they didn't get, you remember after the election, I had to come down there and fight for them because they wasn't getting their what they was promised, and then all of a sudden they gave it to them. They wasn't getting their money, and in the meantime, K. Forbes Smith was making $110,000 per year, which is salary. That's salary, $9,166.66 per month, right?
Yes.
She was making, she was getting $30,000 in housing allowance. $30,000 in housing allowance. She was getting $15,000 in customs duty allowance. $15,000 in custom duty allowance. Okay, and she was getting $250 for gas every single month, and a gratuity of 15%. I still didn't figure out what that one mean, but I wonder if that's gratuity to do with any monies raised or anything like that. I don't know what that means, but she also got a gratuity of 15%
for every year.
Yeah,
100,000.
Yeah. All right. So I don't know what that means. All right.
We were also paying for fuel allowance, 6,500 for fuel allowance, and I don't know why we were paying for her fuel allowance. We were paying. I don't know if she was staying in her own house or who else she's staying in, but we are paying $65,000 for housing allowance. How could the government be paying K. Forbes Smith $65,000? That is a salary within itself, couple salary. She's making for with a housing allowance of $65,000. She's making twice as much as the administrator that's been working for 30 years.
Thank you very much, guys.
She was bringing in.
That's right.
And so
a duty, you say a duty allowance was $32,500. That was a duty allowance. Then she had another allowance of credit equality was $66,000. I send you these stuff. This is live on what she is suing for and what she wants. All these stuff that I'm calling out here now that she didn't get. She won these in a lawsuit. Fuel allowance, she won $6,500. She wanted that to be paid. Duty allowance is $32,500. Housing allowance is $65,000. Where was she staying? In the she was staying in one of those Greek palaces.
The governor general ain't getting that.
Pardon me?
The governor general don't get that kind of housing allowance.
Well, this is what she alleging a lawsuit, and and the gratuity allowance. What is gratuity allowance of $66,000? That was she was getting on gratuity allowance. That itself is $66,000 a year. And how could the FNM government allow her to do this? And her job, her main job, was to bring some help and hope to Abaconians. All this monetary funds that she was getting, she didn't help us. She is so brazen that the people were paying to put a metal roof on the primary school. You know how much she got for putting the metal roof on the primary school? $700,000 for the Central Abaco Primary School. She got $700,000 for putting the roof on Patrick J. Bettle High. And you know who she brought in? She brought in 2 companies from Grand Bahama to collect this $700,000 each. And nobody from Abaco were able to bid or know about it until these guys arrived. And this is what is that is audible corruption there. If K. Forbes Smith got to bring somebody in to get a $700,000 to repair the roof on the schools, and only her and the contractor know about that, that's corruption right there. And she didn't stop at Central Abaco Primary. She went and got another $700,000 for another one of her boys to do the same thing at the high school here in Murphytown. So I can tell you about the stuff that I see going on. And Abaco was homeless, jobless, and this money was flowing all around us. It was like whoever could come in and take this money. Abaco was like, they was coming in and say, thank God for Hurricane Dorian, because they have never seen so much cash, but none of the cash was being put towards bringing Abaco back to some normalcy. 3 years, September, we are still back to ground zero while K. Forbes Smith trying to sue us. See, because we are the government. She's suing Abaco people for all the money that she's gotten, and she's been underperforming, and she's going before the courts. When is the government gonna put K. Forbes Smith in court to get our monies back? That is the question.
And on top of everything you said, there's a contract that went out for $300,000 per month to clear up that garbage heap. I saw that garbage heap, and every time I came there, I saw that it wasn't moving, nothing was happening with it. I thought that was the new dump. I didn't know someone was being paid to move that stuff. Tell us what really went down with that.
That dump was when they had some American NGOs came in to secure that dump, and that dump was you could eat off that dump the way they had it, micromanaging it and had everything separated. And when Ms. Hunt got contract everywhere, I don't know how she did it. She had the contract to clean up Spring City. She had the contract. This is before she got the dump deal. She had the contract, so we need to know how much money she got to clean up Spring City proper. Didn't have a shower. All she had was a law book. Then she went down to Treasure Key. She was responsible. Her and her alone had the contract. She actually run people out of Treasure Key that was doing the cleanup for free. She got with the government to put immigration on the people that were helping to clean up for free because she was getting all this cash cow. Then she went to the dump in Treasure Key, run all the Americans out of there. Some of their equipment they took from them, but the dump was not going away from the main highway. When she took it over, the dump was coming closer and closer to the highway. It is still almost in the highway under her watch. And ask yourself, the massive money she was getting for the cleanup of the dump in Treasure Key, did she have any equipment? Did she have any experience? Was there any check and balance? Were there any Abaconians involved with helping to get some of this massive monies? There was no check and balance. Abaco was left in the dark. They were making these deals in Nassau behind closed door. I know they embarrassed, not K. Forbes Smith because she's still looking for money, but they are embarrassed, and more people would be embarrassed as soon as all these contractual agreements come out. Because Abaconians like myself, that was on the ground from day one, they knew that the people that were getting these monies were not getting, the government was getting screwed. We have Bahamas striping. The boy is supposed to be from Murphytown. He ain't did one single thing to help Murphytown yet. But yet, he bragged that he had 100 people living in Abaco and working to clean up the mud and the peas. The question is, where did Mitchell get monies from as a striping company to have 3 D8 bulldozer in the mud and the peas? He had escalators. He had 10 to 15 heavy equipment truck. Where did a striping company got this from? This is gonna be the cattle when you find out if the government knows now how much did Bahamas striping got for cleaning up the mud and the peas. And nobody could touch that Bahamas striping deal. That was only for them and them only. While we had people like Cully Bulldozer that had bulldozer, had escalator, the brother put them on Front Street, understand, by the traffic light, so that the government could see that he had equipment, but he was Abaconian. The brother couldn't get nothing. But Bahamas Striping had bulldozer, escalators. They came from a striping company to one of the biggest company in Abaco before Hurricane. Big Cat was the biggest company in Abaco as far as bulldozer and excavator, but they didn't include them. They include their people from Nassau and everybody that had heavy equipment that could go back to some normalcy to work. They excluded them. All was Nassau, Freeport, or elsewhere. Abaconians is still without help. September will be 3 years later.
Maria, from a legal standpoint, I want us to get to the legal part of this. With this K. Forbes Smith appointment, from a legal standpoint, and just so we know, they're accusing Heather Hunt, who is a former FNM senator and who ran for the FNM in Marathon. Her husband got the contract for that $300,000. All right. Now, from a legal standpoint, K. Forbes Smith, she was managing director of the Disaster Recovery Committee, right?
Yes.
What is a managing director of a government ministry? That sounds like a corporation. What is a government? Yeah. What is a managing director of a government ministry? We need to delve into that.
Yeah, my fellow Bahamians are looking at the law. I don't know where Dr. Ministers get that name from. But what happened, my fellow Bahamians? This is an act, the Disaster Reconstruction Authority Act 2019. Dr. Minnis and the FNM had come up with this act to give K. Smith a job.
Mm-hmm.
And my fellow Bahamians, there's two acts. I did not know anything about this act. I asked my researcher to print off the act. I thought the act that they print off was the Disaster Preparedness and Response Act that came in place in 2006 underneath the FNM government. So what Dr. Minnis and the crooked, the wicked FNM did, they created this act just for K. Forbes Smith. And they put in here the managing director. But what's this right here? Managing director after the hurricane. Watch this, my fellow Bahamians. K. Forbes Smith, the PLP government needs to countersue you. Lincoln 11, I want you to read it because take a think. I put these words there.
Accounts and audit. This is what they're supposed to do.
K. Forbes Smith, you.
First, before we even get there, I don't know how you have an act that includes a minister, permanent secretary, etc., but a managing director is getting paid more than them.
Thank you.
First and foremost.
And the prime minister.
And getting paid more than the prime minister. I don't understand that. To do this bill organization kind of job, this kind of committee
But Lincoln. Lincoln.
Yes, guys.
What happened to the organization that was there for many years?
Yes.
NEMA.
Yes.
What happened to them? And Captain Russell?
Yes.
What was Captain Russell being paid for? And they were supposed to be the organization that's supposed to jump in when the hurricane hit. They have been miserably absent, but they're being getting paid. A matter of fact, that NEMA, it was so bad that NEMA was encouraging people that were bringing stuff for Abaco to bring it to Nassau. Then they would bring it from Nassau to Abaco. But these were two agencies that were fighting against each other, the DRA and NEMA, when they should have strengthened NEMA. But again, the Prime Minister loved Kate Forbes Smith, so he created a ministry and threw massive monies behind a new organization without any check and balance. Again,
Thank you.
she was overpaid and she was underperforming miserably. Because you ask Abaconians, what did the DRA do? One spell, they stopped issuing everything for about 4 to 5 months. While they stopped issuing materials and goods for Abaconians, K. Forbes Smith was getting all this massive money.
Thank you.
So if they giving K. Forbes Smith all this money, it's no wonder that they stopped giving us material for 6 months. But
Bahamians
did
stopped
K.
getting
Forbes
materials,
Smith's
but
salary ceased?
the illegal immigrants continued to get materials. They got materials, and they continued to build. And there are NGOs who encourage to give them materials.
It is evident. This is when we knew there was something. They had it right first. Defense Force Marines was on the road going to the farm. There's only one road to go there. So while the Defense Force was there, no build up, Defense Force moved. So all of a sudden you get 150 homes, and these people had brand new fridge, brand new stove, brand new generators. They had metal roofs that the NGOs was giving up. So if somebody could, and I want you all to understand this in the Bahamas, the NGOs never came for Bahamians, you know, because they didn't feel that there were poor Bahamians. They came for the poor Haitians. That is what the NGOs came for, to save the people that were in the mud, that were displaced. That was their main initial thing for coming here. That is why 150 houses were built in the farm. And in my area, I've done this in Murphytown, they didn't build one. It is evident that they didn't think that they were poor Bahamians. They were only poor illegals. That is why 150 structures was completed while they built not one single one for Bahamians. I want you to recognize that. You know what it is to build 150 houses and no Bahamians got one?
Wow.
That's what you need to pay attention to. And where was K. Forbes Smith when this massive build-up of hurricane stuff were being done for Haitians, illegal Haitians on government land, when she didn't make sure that 2 Bahamians got a house? But she's still suing the government for her underperforming and for her not helping Bahamians, but she made sure that 150 structures were built in the farm road.
My Lord.
It's that's food for thought. And that was
Now,
massive.
let me read what Maria wanted me to read.
To the Bahamian people.
Which was her real job, her role, and the role of this quasi-ministry. Accounts and audit. This is the law. Section 11. The authority shall keep proper accounts and other. I gotta get some light on this. And Maria, I think getting old. I get some light on this. The authority shall keep proper accounts and other records and shall prepare in respect of each financial year a statement of accounts.
That's what Kate Forbes Smith's supposed to do. She didn't do it.
Every year.
Every year.
The accounts of the authority for each financial year shall be audited by an auditor appointed by the minister after consultation with the authority.
Kate Forbes Smith, where's the taxpayers' work?
Next, 3 months after the end of each financial year, the authority shall submit a copy of the audited accounts to the minister, together with a copy of any report made by the auditor.
Kate Forbes Smith, where is that? We, the taxpayers, need to know why you should get paid all this money. Where is the taxpayers' audit report? Where is it?
She audited her money, but she ain't worrying with the people's money.
Thank you.
Next, the minister shall lay a copy of such audited accounts before both houses of parliament.
Hold on, tell them what that is. House of Assembly and the Senate, where are the taxpayers' document that is supposed to be laid before the Senate and the House of Assembly. Where is it? K. Forbes Smith.
It's supposed to table the audit accounts together with a copy of any report made by the auditor on the accounts.
Thank you.
Next, all contracts awarded by the authority within a fiscal year shall be publicly disclosed at the end of the fiscal year.
Thank you very much. Hear me, Stevens? This, the law.
She got a lot of work to do.
The minutes and the FNMs. Y'all don't come back to power no more. Where is the taxpayers? Hear what Lincoln read? Publicly, all contracts. Bring it to the Bahamian people. Huh? Bring it. That's your things that y'all put in place. Bring it publicly. Huh? Where are the contracts?
You're gonna be shocked to see the contractual whenever the Progressive Liberal Party produced the contractual agreement between these people.
Now, this is where we go to the next part.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We are getting calls from PLPs
Yes.
saying that we need to hold Brave's foot to the fire as relates to dealing with these FNMs. I will tell you that I sat in Brave office myself, and Brave told me himself that he is old school and he don't believe that politicians should be carried before the courts.
That was back then.
All right?
That was back then. We, the Bahamian people, huh? The PLP, we, the Bahamian people, decided that, look here, they vote you all in. We want accountability. We want transparency and good governance. Mr. Davis, I hear how you feel, but we cannot continue to allow politicians to rape, rob, and steal from the taxpayers' treasury. We are asking this PLP government to bring some closure to this, expose these people. We need to see these contracts. Lincoln, I am telling you, we need to put a petition together. And look like we need to go to Bay Street Day. We need to gear up the Bahamian people. Freeport and Abaco and Nassau. We got to go and put the PLP foot to the ground. I am not going to allow this FNM government to walk away and don't disclose these contracts according to the law. Publicly make it public. We need to know what's going on. K. Forbes Smith, how many other contracts you got? Huh? We are tired. This is unacceptable, Lincoln. Understand? We get $5 billion that we got to pay back. And these FNM politicians will walk off and live good off our money for them and their children and their grandchildren, Lincoln. This is unacceptable in this country. Huh? And the Bahamian people, when we call for y'all to come to Bay Street, when they have in Parliament, we want y'all to be there. Because we're going to bring about change in this country. Let me tell this PLP something.
Maria, could I say something?
I'm giving you all a chance. But I would not sit here and allow this to happen for your new politician to go in the house and do the same thing, Lincoln. Boy, Lincoln, no way.
I can tell you something. All right, this is how I used to
Lincoln, can Abaco say something, please? I don't have to all kind of storm. Could I get something off my chest?
Yeah, Abaco has the floor.
You're talking about that little contract with K. Forbes Smith got. The FNM government blew $5 billion. They ain't got one school to show for it.
Thank you.
They ain't got one airport to show for it.
Thank you.
They ain't got nothing that they rebuilt in Abaco. Everything was done by the NGOs. So why isn't the gauntlet up on them $5 billion? What did Dr. Minnis and the FNM did with $5 billion in Abaco? All we can do is thank God for the NGOs, but we saw $5 billion go through. But where is the money? The Bahamian people don't want accountability. The Bahamian people want theirs. They don't want to worry about what already happened. They want to know when could they be in line. And once you have a people like that, You, I, and Maria are wasting our time. The people gotta want change. We brought change to them. What happened? Everybody that's supposed to be on there that wanted change because they know the FNM government was corrupt, they were there making a deal to join the Progressive Liberal Party. They was not making a deal to see change and to promote order change. They wanted to fall in line. And until the Bahamian people cry out for change, we could holler and scream and demand much as we like. We are only three. The massive gotta say, jail them, jail them. Enough is enough. Until you see that, we're only a smoking gun. $5 billion disappeared, and we didn't even have no snow in the Bahamas.
By the government.
It's stolen.
Stolen by the FNM.
That's right.
And I want to say this, if a woman, finds out her brother, is molesting a child, uncle molesting a child, that's one thing. She get rid of her brother, do whatever. But I have a problem if the daddy live in that house or the daddy find out about that and he don't do that.
Yes.
He just leave it alone and say, well, that's family, and just leave it alone. That's what I have a problem with. So if Brave Davis has come here and he's finding out what's going on and he knows what is going on, he does nothing, then he is to blame too. So yes. Brave Davis, we are calling on you.
That's right.
To stand up for the Bahamian people, man.
Accountability. Yes,
to bring them to account. And if you don't do it, we got to suspect and know that you're not doing it because you plan on doing it too. Brave Davis, stand up for the Bahamian. This is your chance to do what is right. Grab Minnis and drag him before the courts, like how we drag PLP members of parliament. Right. You could have crooked Michael Pintard, Togi and Bogo, Michael Pintard, standing up in that House of Assembly and back talking Philip Brave Davis after all the nonsense that the FNM has done that he was a part of, all of the suffering that went down. Michael Pintard, you are a puppet of Brent Simonet and Fred Smith. You are a puppet. Fred Smith is now representing this woman who is suing the Bahamian people.
Wow.
Now you know I can't talk with Fred, right?
I know you can't talk with Fred.
Thank you.
Let me do it.
I can't talk with Fred.
Fred Smith.
That's my lawyer.
Now, Fred Smith fought for Maria many times.
Yes.
And every time she got in trouble, he fought for her.
Yes.
Maria can't say nothing.
That's why she's saying that. She ain't selling out them. She ain't asking for nothing. She ain't getting nothing from him. But when she was in trouble and they was fighting her, he came and he represented her and fought them and won.
Yes.
All right? So let me
Maria,
go.
you gotta let me and Lincoln talk.
Yeah.
No, but I'm gonna still talk about Kate Forbes Smith now, because I'm getting too much information on her.
Every time, not every time, many times it's something against Bahamian people. Fred Smith, sometimes, some things you gotta let go. Fred Smith, you could have told them after you saw the corruption. Fred, you were speaking out against this. You was tired of Minnis. You saw his corruption. You didn't like what was going on. I talked to you, Fred. You couldn't stand what Minnis was doing. It was evil. It was corrupt. And now they come to you to represent K. Forbes Smith. What's going on? You put right there, son.
From Abaco, from Abaco, Lincoln. We still want to know. We still want to know what happened to the $37 million that Baker's Bay promised to build homes there in Abaco. We still haven't heard anything from that. We still haven't heard what happened to all the monetary funds that were collected. Where do they have? Where's this money? Besides the $5 billion that they bust up, millions and millions of dollars was collected. And one thing that nobody wants to talk about, Lincoln, is the VAT money. What and how much VAT money has been collected in 4 years? Watch this, Lincoln. Watch how bad it is in Abaco. We have a port that collected $160 billion in 2018. Today, after Hurricane Dorian, if you were a businessman and your business was bringing in $160 million, wouldn't you go swiftly after Hurricane Dorian and make sure that that place is up and running? 6 months in, the PLP is the government. They haven't mentioned anything, any progressiveness towards putting a building at the port. The first thing the FNM did was put more bill on the Bahamian people by renting a building for customs after they were in a place with no ventilation, no toilet for 4 years. The FNM government didn't even care about their frontline workers. The question is, again, what happened with all this monetary funds that were allocated for Abaconians that have Abaconian still in domes, still sleeping in cars, still don't have no power? When is somebody gonna come to the rescue of these people that are not brave enough to come to the phone like I and to speak about the ills? We have people that their house was completely destroyed. K4 Smith was supposed to make sure that these people got $10,000 or so to start. These people ain't got one red nor black cent yet. Yet she's suing the government for a job that she didn't do. She never came to these people. These people are still homeless. They still don't have a block. They didn't get that $10,000 that was promised, that was supposed to be theirs. But she could go and say she's gonna sue these same people that are homeless, that have no hope of getting together, to get in a home. And what surprised me is that when the Progressive Liberal Party was the government, Sheen was the minister, and they said that he stole all this money. But yet, he built 65 brand new homes. He repaired over 350 structures, but this government haven't repaired 50 structures, neither have they built one single home with all that has been collected. Thank God for the NGOs, All Hands and Hearts, Samaritan Place, CORE, all these people that got us back to some normalcy. What if K. Smith and the government was partnership with these NGOs? You know where we will be. We'll be back so much closer to some normalcy. But they put everything on the NGOs, and they took the monetary funds and didn't put anything into the DRA to help us get back to normalcy. That is where we are in this mess right now, because of people like K. Smith that need to do an audit to find out what she did with our money.
Thank you very much.
We still want to know what the K. Smith did with our monies.
I add this to what you're saying. Before the election, Philip Brave Davis, I ain't calling you Brave no more until you deal with these criminals in the FNM. Because it looked like you scared of minister for some reason. So Philip Davis, you called for a commission of inquiry, all right, on what happened with Dorian, on the funds for Dorian. You told minister to call a commission of inquiry. You did. Now you in the seat. You can call a commission of inquiry.
For that Dorian.
For Dorian. And what happened? Philip Brave Davis, this is for 5 months now. Where's our commission of inquiry, Philip Brave Davis? Are you really brave? You called for it. See, we are tired of politicians who playing us back and forth, who just saying things while they're out of power. Then when they get in power, there's a total different thing. We are tired of it. Philip, are you afraid of Minas? Are you afraid? Until you start prosecuting these criminals in the FNM, you do not deserve your father's name of brave. Let me see you deal with them. And then I can come and shake your hand. But they cannot get away with what they have done to this Bahamian people. Billions of dollars have gone missing, and we saw nothing of it. When billions of dollars get spent like that, you're supposed to see buildings going up. You're supposed to see roads getting done. You're supposed to see where the money going. We couldn't see not one thing. But then we started to see that while we was locked down, members of parliament was building houses.
That's right.
And they stopped everything in the country except construction to make sure they get their house finished before election. The Shannon Norton Cartwright,
Denisha Road.
Denisha Road, Ruben built another house in the yard. Travis Edgecombe, Jeffrey Lloyd, you'll need to answer to the people.
Redwood Wells.
Redwood Wells especially.
Thank you.
That's your friend.
Yeah.
That's your biggest criminal friend. Because he did the bad guy dirty work of Dr. Minutes.
Yes.
We have some terrible friends.
Yes.
And Redwood Wells is the worst of them.
And guess what? Bannister spoke about Redwood, you know. Before he died, I got a voice note. Bannister said Redwood ain't gonna win his seat. And he's not gonna become the leader. He talked everything but Redwood. And he said Redwood wasn't a nice person.
Wow.
So said it, so is it. Listen to me. Me and Lincoln, we got so much information on your guys.
We don't even know where to start.
We don't even know where to start. And I tell y'all, I put your names in the bag and I can shake it up. But we get so much information. Lincoln, let me tell the PLP something. If we get this information, the PLP can find it.
They have it.
Thank you. And by the way, Dr. Manes, good night, sir. They tell me you got everything. The emails, the people who was emailing you every day, they say Dr. Manes get everything. He know about everything. Now he trying to distance himself from K. Forbes Smith, but he don't know nothing about this contract. Lincoln, you believe that?
No, he knows about it.
Huh?
He knows about it. Menace was coming to Abaco straight through.
Oh, that's true.
Menace stayed in Abaco. Menace knew exactly what was going on in Abaco. Kai, you know that. You was to the airport. Menace was practically living in Abaco.
Every holiday, every weekend he go to a little retreat. He didn't come and speak. He didn't even think enough of us to bury our dead in a timely manner. I have never seen a prime minister that hoping that a people fail. They were hoping that Abaconians go elsewhere and they had the land for themselves. See, Minister was so sure that they were going to win the government again that they didn't give a hell about protecting themselves. The Progressive Liberal Party has all the information. The question is, are they going to prosecute or are they going to shelve the information? 6 months in, you should have seen the direction of where they're going, and where they should be going is to have these guys chained and shackled, bringing them before the courts. Because Abaco, if you don't know, is still the way it was basically with the homeless, still homeless. Who is supposed to take care of these persons that didn't have insurance when they walked away from Hurricane Dorian? They lost to walk away with just their lives. And 3 years in, nobody is still looking out for these people. Nobody is still counting these. I have never seen so much selfishness by a nation, by a people, that Abaco was paying so much money into the national treasury, and they have totally abandoned Abaco, and we're still being abandoned, and nobody cares. We have become a selfish people. When the Prime Minister could go down to Dominica and cry for the people of Dominica that they didn't feel the breeze that we feel, didn't go through the flood that we go through, but we're still, while K. Forbes Smith is looking for more monies, we still need monies to come in to try to help these people to get back to normalcy. Who is supposed to be looking out for Abaco?
Yes.
Who? That's the question. We got 2 members of parliament that are clueless. They're not speaking on the ills. They're not speaking on what the government is proposing to do for these people that the FNM forgot, that the FNM robbed, that the FNM didn't care about. Where is the new day? Who is going to come to the aid of these people that are still living with relatives? Who? My question, Lincoln, it's gonna help my people.
I am not. My biggest concern is not criminal Renwood Wells or any of the other MPs who are we're going to describe as criminals, all right, because of their actions of what they did to the Bahamian people.
Yes, taxpayers first.
What they did to the taxpayer people, money didn't give account for it. What they did to us during the lockdowns, etc. Criminal menace. I'm not gonna. That's not my biggest concern. My biggest concern after that election was the people who saw all that and still voted for them. That's terrifying. But there are Bahamians who saw all the darkness that Minis did, all the evil that they did to our people, couldn't even bury our Abaconians properly. Lied about how many of them were there, killed. I mean, restricted them from getting everything. And I say criminal because if people donate stuff for these people and you call it back, man, that's criminal, man. That's what I mean when I say that. That's evil.
Yes.
Thank God for Kai Mills to expose that. How could anyone in Abaco vote FNM? That's what concerns me with this country. We got to stand up for the people, man. We got to say enough is enough.
But Lincoln, our job is to educate the Bahamian people. That's what our job is. We need to bring things to light because back then, was it coming to light? But now that's our job, Lincoln.
Yes, Kai.
It was so bad in Abaco that Henfield withheld the material from the people of Grand Key. And he brought 2 barges worth of beds, stoves, refrigerator the day before election. And those people still went to the polls and vote FNM. It was so bad on the morale, I'd be there in every polling division in Dundas, Murphy, Central Pines. That's his big area. So majority of the people stood up there. It was so bad that Darren Henfield couldn't even get electricity. For 3 weeks, he couldn't get electricity for his office during the election. He went out of power and still didn't have no power. But we had people that were patrolling around for pork chop, chicken, for the FNM. And at the time when we were going up the election, Darren was building a 3-bedroom house in a place called Great Siston, when his relatives and his families and his FNM supporters didn't have anything.
We went to the house. We took video at the house.
Yeah, that cousin bandit, we went down there. You imagine the first house.
We was taking videos at the house.
Yeah, Lincoln, you imagine the first house built by the FNM government was the only house that was built was Darren Henfield house. That's how bad it was. He built a house for himself before he built one for anybody. And he went out of power and didn't build any house for anybody. But they were solely supportive, up and down with them red shit on like they crazy. So what do you do with people like that that are programmed to be the average? We talk about getting locked up. Everybody see you going out there and trying to make a difference. But I haven't seen anybody in court with me. Only me and my lawyer. I got to pay the law fee. And the police tried to get me COVID-19. You're back in court. I'll tell you how serious it is in Abaco. My car got burned down, almost burned the house down for politics, fooling around. And that ain't it. After they burned my car down, I did a video on Baker's Bay, which is one of the most corrupt company that ever came to the country. Everybody is on the take for Baker's Bay. They sent me to jail for 10 days in Fox Hill. And maximum security, I was supposed to be on remand. I was in maximum security. And my case is being finished from 2000. Let me tell you, Maria, my case is being finished from 2018. But every time my case come up, to say guilty or not guilty for doing a video. It has been put off from 2018 to now. And we had a young man that shot two police, and he has already went to court and the case is finished. But my case that sent me to Fox Hill, that is still pending. They're still holding that, the system is still holding that over my head because I wouldn't stop calling out the corruption. How could it be that I did a video in 2017, 2018, the case is over, and I'm still before the courts when somebody tried to kill two police and they are being rushed through the system in 1 year and they haven't seen Fox Hill yet? That is because you speak.
Yes.
You got this voice on you, and nobody comes to court. You're only there with your lawyer and you're going to find these monies. After hurricane, you're in a taxi business. People are making $500 a day, but Kai is making $20 a day. You got to decide whether you're going to put diesel in your car or whether you're going to have lunch or breakfast. That's how bad it has been since Hurricane Dorian, because you speak. You cannot get no business from these resorts. They are employing people all around you, but you cannot get any money because you speak. It is hard doing what I do, but God's given me the utterance, and I speak, and I shall speak. And I speak because they don't want me to speak, but they don't see the hardship of speaking, and thus Bahamian care. The majority of them do not care. They don't care what you're doing. They just looking for some monetary fund. Don't care how they get it. They just want the money. They don't want that word called integrity has been thrown out of the Bahamian society. That is why people like K. Forbes Smith bracing enough to be underperforming and could go and say she's gonna sue the government for a job that she didn't do.
Thank you very
and
much.
Want monies. And she's still not doing the job, but she still want to be paid. That's called bracing. The government need to counter sue and to show her that people like her shall never stand again in this country. And she got to make her. She's trying to make the PLP accountable when she has not been accountable for 1 day. She haven't done an audit yet on all the monetary fund that she has collected and she has spent. But she's trying to hold the government accountable when she's been underperforming and getting this massive payday.
So they need to account for that. And also this government needs to account for all of the money that these media persons who are getting these created positions. We need to know how much they're getting paid. We need to know how much Clinton getting paid. We need to know how much everybody who's getting these created positions is getting paid. All right, we need transparency in this country. And Brave Davis was saying that he doesn't want an ambush. He don't want cabinet ministers to be ambushed. How could you be ambushed when you got the people information? And the people are your bosses. You serve the people. How could you be? But you know the reason why the media has to do it in that way? Right, and I was the one who started that. They always thought that it was illegal until I did it with the Sea Hall of victims. Then everyone started doing it.
Yes.
They thought you couldn't approach the members of parliament until I started it. I was the one who started that because I saw it everywhere else in the world. And when I was
Thank you.
But you know why they're doing it? They're doing it because there's no transparency. Give them the Freedom of Information Act, and they don't have to worry about that. All right. And so remember, you can call in. You can call in. I know we've been on in a while. We had the event for the Bahamian people. You had to say the things Bahamians could not say. You can call in. Remember, put the call-in number up there so they can see it. 804-4264. You can call in and speak your piece. But I want to segue here to what's really going on in this country. While we broke and starving and suffering, Kai, all of a sudden, a lady from Bloomberg came and said the Bahamas could make $375 million a year from carbon credits. And everyone's starting to say, oh, Lincoln Bain probably was right. All of a sudden. When from the break, I showed them all of the information, all the documentation, all of the facts. But she doesn't show any facts. She doesn't bring anything. But she just said it. So people are just going with it. But that's not important. What's important right now is that we need to understand that this country, every Bahamian could be a millionaire. That's what we're crying for, you know. That's what we're crying for. That is not to sell no dream. That is not to get elected. Let me tell you something. Brave Davis, Pintard, whoever you are, Pintard, you all can't do nothing. Brave Davis, give the Bahamian people what we have been espousing to them, and I don't never need to be prime minister. Give the Bahamian people their sovereign wealth fund. Give them their money every year. Give them the things that we've been saying that they could get. I don't need a stress. I am fighting because I know what the Bahamian people are valued and I know what we are worth. That is why we are fighting. And only because we know you all need to give it to the Bahamian people. Give it to them, me and Maria stand down.
That's right.
Immediately.
Right.
Immediately. Give us our sovereign wealth fund. Give us our money. Let us benefit from our natural resources. We don't hear you all meetings where you're now talking with the carbon credits. Y'all don't know what to do with it. Y'all trying to find out. But y'all want to take it and do some things in government with it. No. Give us our things. You have your tax money. Do with your tax money what you've been doing with it. This new money. You don't need this. You can't say you need this. This new money. You didn't put VAT on us to pay down the debt, but never pay down the debt. You increase VAT on us to pay down the debt, but never pay down the debt. This is new money. Don't touch our carbon credit money and say you go build road and airport with it. Don't touch it and say you go pay down no debt with it. Give that to the Bahamian people. Take your hands off our what's ours. And so I want to talk about this. And Kai, we want to thank you for being here. If you want to stay on with us, you can. All right, but we're gonna come on the full screen now so people can see this thing in full. All right, we want to thank you. Keep fighting in Araco, and we just want to take our last 50 minutes or so and deal with this issue because they're tired of Bahamians being broke.
I appreciate you having me on, and I'm always want to say, speak up for Abaconians and Lincoln. I want you to come and see what is being going on here since Hurricane Dorian, and you'll be as shocked, just like you were shocked when you went to the trail and smell and saw. You'll be surprised to see how Abaconians are still living 3 years in. So I'm looking forward to see you, and never met Maria in person. So by all means, y'all see if y'all could borrow one of them king hair with Brave got and come down here to Abaco and let me give you all a tour and let you see utter suffering 3 years in. Appreciate you shouting out to me, and I just want to let the world know that Abaco and Abaconians still need help. All the older people in Abaco, they basically say, we're not going to have the older people because they soon dead. So all the older people, the 90, the 80s, and 70, they still haven't gotten any help yet because people wrote them off, playing Jesus, say they soon dead, so don't help them. And this is what's going on in Abaco. So I'm inviting you down sometime in the near future to come and see what I see every day. That's why I get courage, because I'm speaking for the underprivileged that don't have the courage to speak for themselves. So we're looking forward to seeing y'all on the ground in Abaco.
All right. Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Peace.
All right. See you next time. And Guy said he hasn't mentioned, he forget you was there down to his when we launched him, his candidacy down there. And when we went down there the time before. All right. So I see I gotta touch on this. Bahamas, we are wealthy beyond belief. We're not selling anything to you. All right. We just want you to get what's yours. Now, what's happening in the rest of the show? If you forget everything that happened in the previous part of the show, forget that. What happens from here till the end this, I want you to stick with us. This is important. This is where the money is. I'm going to start this before I get into this, and I'm going to show you the money. I am going to show you the money. So for those who came here for gossip and talk and this and that, let's go. If you want to know how every Bahamian could be extremely wealthy, I'm about to show you that. And then they can come and say, don't believe Lincoln, don't listen to him, etc., etc. I'm going to show you. I'm going to start with a video. I'll talk to it. I'm going to start with a video by Robert Kiyosaki and other persons. I want you to see the value of carbon credits. They're going to tell you what carbon credits is, and they're going to show you something special. They are going to show you the carbon credits, which we got the most of in the world right now, the Bahamas. We have the entitlement to more carbon credits than any country in the world because we got the blue credits, the most valuable credits. That's the credits from the ocean, from the coastline, the most valuable carbon credits that sells for 10 times the amount of the regular carbon credits. We got it.
So why the government linking?
Because they don't want y'all to know how valuable it is. They don't want y'all to know we could be free. They want y'all depending on $50 in a t-shirt when election comes. They want y'all depending on them for jobs. So you can say, hallelujah, man, at least he give me a job, I'm voting for him. That is what they want.
So which government minister is responsible for this carbon credit linking? Educate the baby.
The long lost, what's his name? Vaughn Miller. I didn't start forgetting his name, but we see him so long. But we can get into all that. All the BSing they doing, they went and planted some mangroves the other day by Bonefish Pond. BSing. Bahamians are tired of BSing.
So when are we gonna put this thing together and go to his office?
ASAP.
Thank you.
Now, I want y'all to take a minute. While this is playing, I'm gonna cut in and out. I want y'all to see this video. This is the education part. All right? You'll want information. Here it is. Let's play this video about carbon credits. That's not a video.
I Lincoln, look, we have to come up with a plan to get these government how to come up with proposals to make the Bahamian people like better.
Yeah. The video that was about to show just now was actually, we were going to touch on that, but we didn't have time. An actual party they had at Pirates Cove in Grand Mama. All right. It was actually a party they had full of people. I mean, thousands of people. They had a party, but then they're saying that we can't have a Dexadaps concert. All right. We can't have Junkanoo. But I was going to show you all the actual party. We have all the videos and everything from the party that was disgraceful. But we were going to show you all that. We just
organized that party.
All right. Groove Cruise organized it. Do we have the video ready? Okay, get on the video ready. So what we're going to do is we're going to put it on the screen behind us. We're going to put it on the screen behind us like we did last week. So here we go. Get that on the screen behind us. Oh yeah, we're ready to go. We got to show the Bahamian people this. We need some volume on this. We need some volume. So let's make sure the volume is up before we get started. All right, so we need the volume on the TV. Let's run a test and make sure that we can see. This is Robert Kiyosaki. Y'all hanging there with us. This is the fate of the future of our country. This is do or die for us, y'all. So y'all can ignore this and then keep talking politics all y'all want, but this is the reality of the thing. Okay. This is the fate of our country. Okay. Okay, the volume is good. We just wanted to run that little test. The volume is good. So let's get that off there. Where are we? Where are we? I'm gonna get it up there for you right now. Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay, we're ready to go. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God, how they? Okay, there we go. Ladies and gentlemen, you're going to hear from the guy who wrote Rich Dad Poor Dad, and you're going to hear from some other experts about our carbon credits. This is extremely important. All right, we're going to put it on the widescreen view. So, if you don't care about your money, you don't care about the Bahamas, and you're just satisfied with paying these high grocery bills and all that, and you want to stay broke, go to your bed. But if you're a real Bahamian and you want to see what's really going on with carbon credits, and now every Bahamian could be a millionaire, this is it.
And the biggest investment opportunity of our lifetime, bigger than Bitcoin or carbon credits.
This is so much bigger than Bitcoin. This is so much bigger than gold, so much bigger than the copper market. In fact, this is going to be bigger than the oil market, which makes up about 5% of global GDP. That's not me saying this. This is the biggest oil company and oil traders in the world who are saying this.
This carbon credits thing is, I'm going to pay attention to what he's saying, because you see something there. And if ALC can make me rich, I'm very happy about that. So, would you explain what carbon credits are?
Sure. So one carbon credit is the equivalent of taking 1 ton of carbon dioxide equivalent out of the atmosphere, and it's certified. This has been around for about 20 years, but it was wishy-washy. Who certified these credits? What type of projects were they? And this is all coming to now a conclusion after 20 years. It's something called Article 6, that COP26 in Glasgow, which, the name of the city is almost ironic that it's the dear green place. That what the Paris Accord and COP21 in Paris in 2015, all these promises that the governments made, now in 2021 in Glasgow, they're going to be legislated, they're going to become law. The investors are catching on, just more importantly, Shell, Exxon, BP, they're all in the market trying to figure out how do we buy this, because we know this is where it's going. And this is the one thing that if you're watching this video, you're like,
we're hearing that you can't hear it, you're having a problem hearing it, we don't understand what's going on. All right, let's bring this over here. This end is muzzled. We're so sorry about that. Just unplug it. All right, we're going to line this up for you. We're so sorry about that, but this is important to the future of the Bahamas. And thank you all for letting us know you couldn't hear it. Let's see if you could hear it now. I guess it was too far. They set it up too far. Sorry, we normally have this stuff lined up to play in the system, but something happened again today. All right, so let's see if you can hear the rest of it. They've already said that you couldn't hear it, but carbon credits is more valuable than gold, more valuable than oil, more valuable than any of those things, more valuable than Bitcoin. Carbon credits, and we got the most of it in the Bahamas. Let's continue.
Okay, obviously, if you're watching Rich Dad Poor Dad, you already want to have more in life. You want to do better. You want to improve your financial situation. And I believe personal freedom through financial independence. That's been a thing. Like, I grew up with immigrant parents. We didn't have much. We had a lot of love, an incredible family, but I didn't start out with much. But this is an opportunity. Anybody watching this, whether you're me or the person watching this, we're all on the even foot when it comes to carbon credits, whether you're in Moscow or in Africa, Argentina, you're in Brazil, anyone with a will, there's a way to do this. And you don't need, to be worth billions of dollars to get into this. Where, if you want to buy a gold mine, it's going to cost you a lot of money to buy this thing and develop it and be a part of it. This is a different game.
So how are the carbon credits created?
Sure. So let's just say, one of the world's most famous carbon credit projects, I'd compare it to the old Homestake gold mine in South Dakota, was something called Rimba Raya, which was originally slated to be clear-cutted for palm oil plantation, right? Kit Kats. And all this palm oil demand that globally North America and China was requiring. Well, that's going to Brazil, huge effect. Anyone with a wheat from this palm oil plantation, monkeys, cast its own, and all this the biosphere aspects. So what happened was a group came involved and said, hey, don't chop this down for palm oils. We are going to use this as a project to protect and inhabit the potential to grow the trees and maintain these trees so there is no deforestation, to be able to absorb the carbon out of the atmosphere, and you can calculate that, and it's certified by a company called Vera. Think of Vera as like the PricewaterhouseCoopers of the accounting world in the carbon credit world. And the company that bought that, PwC, Delta Airlines, Google, Facebook, all of these global companies have recognized this as like the prime home stake or the gold strike, the tier 1 asset. So now Delta Airlines, when you go on a flight, Robert, you and I were talking about this on your last flight, when you go to even book a flight on Google Flights or whatever, it has the price and then it has your carbon footprint. And now the airlines have committed to offsetting their carbon footprint. So that's how you go and create carbon credits. You have to have a project and you have to have something called additionality factor. What are you doing to this project to prevent the deforestation? And by having this carbon credit certified, that you're adding value to the whole system that you have to be certified. So it's not as easy as going to the party and say, I'm going to get carbon credits from this. You have to prove there's an additionality factor. So is it going to be clear cut or whatever? So then you take those credits and then you can sell them to companies like Shell, BP, Exxon. So just to put this into perspective, about 200, let's say two.
Let's get this back over there. Let me just.
You must need to talk to us.
No, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the link to that. Let's get it plugged back in. We're so sorry about that. We had everything lined up for you. We're so sorry about all of that. We're going to get that plug. We're going to send you the link so you can watch that video and do some research for yourself.
Then we can talk about it later.
Yeah, straighten it up. But in the meantime, I'm going to show you some actual facts about this thing. So basically, I wanted you to hear these people saying it because for some reason, Bahamians seem to like to hear things from a certain type of people, and so that's why we decided to let you hear that. So I'm going to show you. They're talking about carbon credits. They're talking about blue credits and the value of it, and how all this stuff works. I'm going to put links on my Facebook page so that you can see this kind of stuff. We're going to direct you to where to go to get this information, or just go and research it yourself. Don't take Lincoln Bain's word for it. Go research this for yourself. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to show you the value of this thing. The lady said it's worth $375 million, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, based on what she was reading. Let me show you how valuable it is. That wasn't even a drop in the bucket that she said. Our carbon credits, we had a couple more short videos to show you there, but we're gonna skip over that just for the sake of time. Our credits are so valuable. Our carbon credits are the most valuable in the world because we have the blue credit. There's different types of carbon credits. I'm going to send you a video so that you can see that for yourself. There's different types of carbon credits, and the ones we have is mind-blowingly valuable. I'm going to actually go to, and that's what they have up on the screen now, what are blue carbon credits and how to maximize them, and it shows the value of it, etc. And the value of what carbon credits are trading for. Carbon credits, this is the voluntary carbon market. That means there are people who are traveling on an airline, and they might say, we're going to put a certain amount of carbon into the air. And so because I'm destroying the earth, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pay extra because I'm doing that. There are people who voluntarily give money for carbon credits. And right now they pay about $7 and something cents per carbon credit in order to drive their cars, to drive on an airplane, etc. And I want to break this down slowly for you. Please stick with me. This is important. And they pay that voluntarily. That market reached $1 billion in 2021, when the whole economy and everything was shut down, when there wasn't much traveling, when everything was locked down around the world. That market value topped $1 billion in 2021. That's people voluntarily saying, listen, I'm jumping on a plane, I'm going to the Bahamas. That plane is going to put a certain amount of carbon in the atmosphere. Let me pay voluntarily to pay for the damage I'm doing to the earth. That's that carbon market. Okay? That's the volunteer carbon market. But that's not even the value of this thing yet. That's not even the real value of this thing. The real value of carbon credits, and if you look at what's on your screen now, it's very interesting what you're seeing there. It's showing you the value of carbon credits. All right, it says each carbon credit represents the removal or avoided emissions of metric ton of carbon dioxide, or its equivalent from the atmosphere. Global demand for carbon credits is projected to increase 15-fold to be worth $50 billion by 2030. That's 8 years from now. $50 billion. There are not many industries worth $50 billion in terms of income a year. $50 billion. That's a drop in the bucket to what it's really going to do when countries like us get involved in this. Okay? The next slide, it says the blue carbon ecosystems, such as mangroves, seagrass, and salt marshes, are unique in their ability to sequester carbon, mitigate climate risk, improve livelihood, and safeguard biodiversity. Mangrove forests grow along tropical coastlines. The dense tangle of roots stabilize the coastline, capture carbon-rich sediments, and improve nurseries for juvenile fowl. Now, what does that mean is the carbon in mangroves, that's the trees that grow in water. They pull the carbon out of the air, like what you're seeing now, and hold it in the soil under the water. That means it can't get back into the atmosphere. Other trees, it could be slippage, it could get back in, but with these kinds of plants, it holds it down in the soil under the water. And so this is worth 10 times more than a regular plant. I continue what I was reading before. Mangroves have been estimated to prevent more than $65 billion in property damage and reduce flood risk to some 15 million people every year, with overall ecosystem service benefits estimates to fall between $462 billion to $798 billion per year. This is a trillion. In fact, economic analysis shows that the benefits of mangrove restoration and conservation could outweigh costs 3 to 1. This year, we're talking hundreds of billions of dollars in value that we can now cash into. We gotta wake up. There's another article by S&P Global. I'm subscribed to this. I've been paying attention to this. I'm a trader, so I pay attention to certain things. Blue carbon gains interest in effort against greenhouse gases, but challenges remain. All right? So everyone is looking at blue carbon as the future, as where we go from here. That's the real deal. Now, I want you to see this next slide. Mangrove carbon credits issued by projects, and this is a couple of years ago. This is where the value came up. Mangrove carbon credits issued by projects in Asia and Central America are currently being offered at $13 to $35 per metric ton CO2. So when you plant that little mangrove plant, that plant is giving you $13 to $35. These are not exact science or exact numbers. $13 to $35 per plant. You ever look at a mangrove and see how much plants are there? Have you ever looked at all of the trees? Have you ever driven in Andros or Abaco and see all the trees you pass in? Every single tree is worth carbon credits. Each of them take a certain amount of carbon out of the air, and you will get paid for each one. Every single mangrove is worth 10 times worth what a regular tree is worth. It says mangrove carbon credits can trade at a higher price compared to other nature-based credits because they have to meet several targets beyond carbon consumption or sequestration, preventing floods, preserving mangroves and ocean biodiversities, filtering pollutants, and offering food security for local communities. I want you to see something else. Australia is already in this. The Bahamas is always last to every game. They're last to get independence. Last. We always last because we just do whatever the politicians tell us to do. And we don't really stand up. We always last when it comes to everything. Australia is already in the game. They don't have the kind of carbon credits we have or the value of carbon credits we have. They have the regular stuff. They're outback, which is mostly barren. But Australia thought to get in it. Watch this. Carbon credit unit price hit record high of $18, that's US dollars, per metric ton in Australia. I'll explain this to you some more in a minute. driven by strong demand. Look down to the bottom where it's highlighted. The spot price of the carbon credits was recorded at 26 Australian dollars per metric ton. That's $18.88. So basically, not literally, but basically every plant you're seeing is worth about that, give or take. This is real. This is the most valuable thing in the world right now. Now I'm going to show you something else. I'm going to go to a website called carboncredits.com. And this is going to show you how this thing is traded on the markets. This will blow your mind. This thing is being traded. So you heard them saying those figures, etc., but those figures are a joke compared to what's really going on. Carboncredits.com. The first thing I want to show you is the value of the carbon credits on the market. That was Australia last year sometime. Now, where that was a big deal for it being 18 US dollars, look at these figures. Australia is now, and this is updated, this is live, this is updated every 5 minutes.
Serious?
Australia is now worth $55.25. $55.25. The European Union carbon credits trade for $95.81. $95.81. More than that plant costs to buy. If you just buy it and plant it, that's going to give you every month probably 10 times more than you paid to buy that. If we go on a planting spree, which we don't have to because we already have billions of dollars worth of mangroves out there. I'm just saying, I just put this in perspective for you. If we were to go on a planting spree, this is a business in itself for us. Some countries are already doing that. I wish I could have time to show you all more videos, but I want you to research farmers. In California right now, it's $29. In New Zealand, it's $78. In South Korea, it's $28 for carbon credits. And we could get this for each plant, basically. Again, it's a little deeper than that. The next thing I want you to see in this is I want to break down some of these figures. I want to break this down.
So why we just gotta take this proposal, put it together, and go make this proposal to the government? Because Lincoln, they're not gonna do this just like that. We gotta to bring this together, show them how it's gonna work, and let them try it.
We could do it.
Thank you.
We could do it.
Yeah, nothing be the try but a failure.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I want you to look at the next graphics, European carbon credits, and I want you to see how much this grew over time. This thing is exploding bigger than Bitcoin. All this hype we had about Bitcoin, etc.
Yeah.
That graph in front of you is from what you're seeing now with European. That's the one on the left. From April to now, do you see how that is going up, 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 up?
Yeah.
From April to now, that is skyrocketing. And the Bahamas has mangroves, we have seagrass, all the corals, the moss and the fungi, the algae in the water, you will be credited for. Every plant in Andres, when you drive in Andres, every plant, they will give you a value for and you will make money from it. Farmers in America are making money now for farming. Not only from the fruit, because their plants that they farm is taking carbon from the air. So for every acre or hectare of farm, they're getting additional money. Can you imagine that? Per month, they're getting additional money for farming. So that plant is worth more than just the fruits on it. The fruits, it's going to take, what, 6 weeks, 2 months, sometimes more, for that fruit to really bear. The carbon credits, they're going to get that every month. Farmers, there's a new world out there. There's billions of dollars to be made for every single Bahamian. Now they're starting to repeat what we said, but they don't understand it the way we do and what could be done with this. Look back at those figures again. I want you to see that. Look at California right next to it. Look at how that has been going up and up and up. Look at what's really been going on. There's a serious, huge business out there. There's a huge business out there and billions of dollars to be made. And so the number she quoted of 375,000, I'm rushing through this. The number she quoted, that's a joke. 375 million, sorry. That's a joke to what we really could be making in this country. I had more videos etc. to show you. I wanted to break this down for you some more. But we just want the Bahamian people, and I want them to look at me as I say this. There is no reason for us to be in debt. Aragonite is considered a renewable source. It is certified renewable. So just from them using aragonite, they're going to get carbon credits. We're going to get carbon credits for selling it. So some electricity plants, they're using biodegradable stuff. They're using like rice and other stuff that they're burning, other material that they're burning. They are getting carbon credits for that. So they're making money from selling the electricity from the plant, and they're making money because they use a biodegradable fuel. There are countries that would get carbon credits because they built us a solar plant. Free. It's happening in the world right now.
And I'll tell the Bahamian people how much money could be made from this every year. Looking at your analysis.
Based on my analysis of the entire gambit, not just mangroves, etc. Based on my analysis of the entire gambit, we could easily do $15 billion a year from our carbon credits.
What?
It's not just the mangroves, which is worth billions. It's not just all of the plants and trees in all of these 700 islands that we're not using. There are people in America right now, researchers, don't listen to Lincoln. There are people who, because they own like acreage of land, they are getting carbon credits for that acreage of land. They're getting paid because they own the land. The land paying for itself. Did you notice the wealthy people, Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos of them, just buying empty vacant land?
Yeah.
They just buying up millions of acres of just land. And people are like, why are they buying all this barren land that can never be developed and you can't do nothing in it? Why are they doing that? The carbon credits from it. They are going to make huge money from it. Ted Turner, big owner of land. Bill Gates is buying up farmland and other vacant land. Just buying up regular land, never to be developed. It's happening right before our eyes. But guess what? We are always the last because our politicians are only concerned with what they can do to make money for them and their little cronies.
Thank you very much.
Small-minded. And so we are always last to the gate with everything.
Yes.
As a people. It's time for us to benefit. Carbon credits is deeper than this. We're going to make money from our mangroves, every plant that we have on all these islands. I want you to understand. Watch the Bahamas National Trust. Just one deep. Watch the Bahamas National Trust. Millions of acres of land have just been, has been turned over to them. England did it. They're not getting that land because they want to preserve it. They're getting that land because when the carbon credits set in, they're going to make billions of dollars from this.
So why do they
notice only the rich people interested in that?
Yes.
The rich white people are into that. I want y'all to wake up, Bahamas. That's not a racist statement. I'm just being real with y'all. The Bahamas National Trust, the government was granting land to them while they wouldn't even answer you for your crown land. While you're applying and they wouldn't even talk to you. They was giving them, I think they've now given them 2 million acres of our crown land.
Hold on a second, Lincoln. Hold on. And we can't get 100 acres for a new hospital for the poor people?
No.
No, hold on, man, Lincoln.
Y'all don't deserve nothing because y'all keep voting for the same people over and over.
Then I going to Parliament. Where am I going to Parliament now? Why is everybody else in this country, Lincoln, can get land? And we the poor people, we can't get it. Huh?
I am calling on every Bahamian. Y'all listen to me very carefully. Because I'm doing it. I've already scoped out my land. I'm not going to say the date. I'm not going to say when that was done. But I'm going to say,
me too.
Our crew in here talking, they having a party in here. Every Bahamian under the sound of my voice, the foreign illegals come here and take our crown land, and then the courts stand up for them and tell them you can't break down their house. The courts in this country, the foreigners from the north come here and we give them crown land to build their dreams. Our crown land, but if we want it, oh, you want too much. You do like things, you want free things.
Pay for it. And it's our land.
But we give it to them to build their dream. Our land.
Thank you. The taxpayers' land.
The taxpayers' land.
The Bahamian people's land.
Some idiot said the other day that, oh, we can't get it because it belongs to the Queen. Then Howard Landers get it.
Thank you.
The Queen ain't give it to them.
Thank you.
And how Bahama get it?
Thank you.
The Queen ain't give it to them.
Thank you. All these people that getting the land, the Queen ain't give it to them. No. No. And we can't get 100 acres for a hospital, Lincoln.
Patients billing all over Andres and Abaco right now. Right now as we speak. Bang, bang, bang. They billing in Nassau right now. All in the night you hear bang, bang, you can't sleep. When you come up 6 houses and pop up.
That's right.
I am calling on every Bahamian, and you all screenshot this and send this around. I'm calling on every Bahamian to take a stand. When Martin Luther King was told that you cannot eat in a restaurant, he said, well, I'm going to eat in a restaurant. Lock me up if you have to.
That's right.
When they told the Indians that only a foreigner could make salt in India, Mahatma Gandhi said, not a day like it. We're going to the ocean and we're going to make salt. Lock us up if you have to. And he refused to plead not guilty. He said, send me to jail. I can plead guilty. Send me to jail because you're not going to rape my country anymore.
Thank you.
I'm calling on every Bahamian to find crown land in this country and start building on it.
Yes.
You'll listen to me.
That's right.
We are going to stand with you. Every single Bahamian, find a piece of crown land, mark it out, and start building on it. Build out of your pocket.
That's right.
I don't care if you build a wooden house.
Thank you.
For Haitians.
That's right.
Build on it. There's crown land in Nassau. There's crown land in Andres. There's crown land all over this country. Millions of acres.
Well, you forget what happened going on, eh? What's the man name? Ah, boy. The man who's getting all these land, who was involved in this Pinewood development.
Our homes?
Our homes. And they go on and acquire all kind of land.
Yes.
Well, they going to put up stakes here, fence here. Bahamians, we going to do it too. Since the business people could do it, I only want an acre. I want an acre of our land, the people's land, right? Like you said, the Haitians can get it, Lincoln. I want my stake too. Give me mine.
Bahamians, the Haitians come together. This one is electrician. This one is carpenter. This one is mason, etc. They come together. They build together. Bahamians, time to come together.
Thank you.
And let's do this together. We told you last time to start sending your information. If you want to do something, please send your information. If you're an electrician, you're carpenter, you whatever you are, it's time to come together. You can build stuff. You can cities, you can have solar panels, whatever it is.
Thank you very much.
All right? We're going to build as the Bahamians.
That's right.
Tired of their foolishness. Bahamian, 30,000 Bahamians applied and didn't even get an answer. Didn't even get an answer. You gotta stand up with us, eh? Stand up. It's time. It's time to change this country.
That's right.
And so the carbon credits, I couldn't go deep into it. I'm going to spend some time again on another live to just break it down for you, how it works, because this is deep. There's billions of dollars to be made. This is a billion industry. Now, when we get in this, we have so much value with carbon credits. Everything that can take carbon out of the air, we can get paid for. There are companies who want to pollute the earth and they have a cap on them. So if they want to still do business, they have to buy the credits from somewhere, and they would be buying it from us. People traveling around the world who want to give and donate, they will say, okay, we're traveling, we're driving to work every day. It's going to affect the Bahamas and cause hurricanes to be more intense, et cetera, et cetera. Let me give to the Bahamas so that they can build a solar plant, so that they could benefit from this, so they could build their seawall, so that they could have the money to prepare themselves so that when a hurricane comes, they have the money ready and they don't have to beg other people around the world. We got to change our thinking, Bahamas. We got to change our thinking, man.
Boy, Lincoln, you're the person to say we need to do another Burma Road.
I don't want to interrupt, but we do have a caller on the phone that would like to ask a question.
Yes, get them in.
All right, you can ask your question.
How you doing? You got to turn down your Facebook so we can hear you good. Or you got to turn down your Facebook or whatever you're listening on, YouTube or whatever, so we can hear you. Okay, now you can talk.
All right, one moment.
Okay, we'll get them on there.
All right.
How are you?
Go ahead.
My question is, I was watching the news earlier tonight when Johnson was speaking, and he was saying how the Prime Minister and the Governor General, even when they retire, they still collect a certain amount of money.
Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
Johnson was saying how they still collect a certain amount of money after being retired. I want to know why is it that they're still being paid when they're rich, and they're taking the poor people's money to continue to pay them even when they're not paying, when they have several businesses, when they have a lot of land and they have all these monies. Why we still people who poor, who have to work so hard for $5.25? We still gonna pay that. Why?
Because we keep allowing it. Every election we fight to make politicians millionaires while we suffer. We have to be the dumbest people on earth, but we got to wake up and wise up. We fight to make them rich. We walk in the hot sun with them and go door to door, knocking on the door with them while they lying to us.
Yes.
We fight to make them rich. Then they come out with the big house. All of a sudden they start getting fat, putting on 200 pounds.
Your children go to the best schools.
The children in the best schools.
Yes, that's great, but the third generation is great.
Thank you.
While your price of gas going up. They don't care about the price of gas because they get
going up. The light bill now getting ready to go up, and grandma have a groceries even on the doors. The lady who is the financial controller of the city market, she said they expect prices to go up. The increase of the minimum wage is not going up. How are we supposed to survive? What is our country going to? Do we all have to run away to the States to be able to make $10 an hour? Why do we have to leave our country? Why do we have to be taken advantage of?
Yeah, it's despicable. But it's because we keep allowing it. Yeah. We keep letting these cronies. See, the worst people in the country is not the politician, you know. The worst people in the country is those who keep fighting for them, the cronies.
Yes.
Those who fight for them, knowing the corruption, who want these little contracts. See, a vampire is a bad, evil beast. A vampire. But he ain't the bad one. Knows the bad one. They have something called the vampire keepers. And they're the one who, while the vampire is asleep, because they got to sleep during the day. That's the human who guards the vampire. And they guard the vampire under the premise that they want to be a vampire because vampires are always rich and they can live forever. They don't have to really, really die. And so they have some people who want to be like that, and the vampire won't bite them. They won't make them like them, but they let them live off the promise until they tire them and kill them and get more. Because they have them guarding their sarcophagus while they're asleep. And they will kill you, and they will grab you and bring you to the vampire to get killed. That's the Bahamians. Those sellout media people, they are the vampire keepers. Bahamians who want a little $2,000 a month contract for doing the road from here to there. Those are the ones who are destroying us when all of us could be wealthy. They're bragging about their trip to Dubai and all these Dubai investors. Dubai made their people wealthy. They did that. The people didn't do that on their own. Dubai did that for their people. Now they're investing all over the world. We have more value in our country than Dubai has in theirs. Thank you for your call. We appreciate it.
The sad part about it is, none of the government, the FNM, the PLC, none of them have no head to say run no country. None of them care about the people. And like you say, we all need to get together. Our motto, I just posted that on my Facebook today. Our motto says, upward, onward, together. Upward, onward, together. And nobody they don't even understand that. The concept of being able to be together, sticking together, to be able to make the country be able to go forward.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much for your call. We appreciate it. We want to encourage every Bahamian to stand up in this fight. This is a fight for the Bahamas, a fight for Bahamian. This is not about politics.
Thank you.
This isn't about politics. I have said it already. Me and Maria will stand down right now. If you give the Bahamian people, would be promising them.
Thank you very much.
Would we know they could have?
That's right.
We will stand down. I could be doing some other things in my life than getting lied on and attacked and all this stuff every day. Getting locked up, getting criticized. There's some things we could do. We're going to need you to stand with us, Bahamas. All of you who support us, the hundreds of people, the thousands of people who watch us tonight. The thousands who watch us tonight. We need your donations. We need those of you who are members. Pay your dues. Join us. Become a part of us. Simply go to our website. And the first thing you'll see there is to give donations, to become a member, or to pay your dues. We need your help. You can pay with a credit card. You don't have to come in. You can pay with card. Just go right there and you can pay right now. Now, what I want you to do for the rest of this week, until we come back next Tuesday, what I want you to do is go and watch the documentaries again. We're going to be putting more and more material on our website. We're going to start breaking it down for you too. But we want you to watch those documentaries in their entirety. There's some people who are saying, oh, people were talking about natural resources for a long time. Yes, they were. And we love you and we thank you for that.
Yes.
You opened our eyes.
Yes.
But no one ever brought the documents. And no one ever showed us what was really going on.
Yes.
No one has. These documents, we show that. And so if you go to our website on the front page, coalitionofindependence.com, not BahamianEvolution.com, coalitionofindependence.com, we put it there. More documentaries on BahamianEvolution.com also. But we want you to go to coalitionofindependence.com. We put the documentaries there in order for you so that you can watch the one on science. You can see the value. So you can watch each and every one of them. We got to put together one now for carbon credits so that you could understand how we could be the richest country in the world. Our entire ocean, our ocean has value just sitting there doing nothing. And every day, brave them, flam us and BS us and don't do nothing that's related to this. That's money that we will never get back because every day that's gone.
So sorry.
While they are flying around, putting all kind of carbon in the air, taking trips. If you work to the airport, we got plenty of supporters.
Sorry to interrupt, but
Go ahead.
Sorry to interrupt, but we have another caller.
Okay, I'll get to them right now. If you see how much trips Brave them taking, it will blow your mind. Minister was a joke. Perry Christie, that was a joke. If you see how much trips these fellas taking, it'll blow your mind. Let's go to the phone lines. Good night. Welcome. Good night. You're live. Good night. You're live.
Caller, are you there?
Go ahead.
Yeah, my question was, I'm from Guatemala, and we had a lot of damage from Standard Oil and all the millions of gallons of oil that leaked during the hurricane. And I personally know that they have insurance that covers billions of dollars worth of damage. But we, the people, haven't seen any money come to us or to even help out the communities that were affected by the damage. I wanted to know if we could do something where we could do a class action lawsuit like this. There could almost the government ain't do that. But we could do something like that. We could
Yes, persons with interest in Grand Bahamas can do a class action lawsuit. Yes, every Bahamian cannot, but persons with interest in those areas that were affected can do a class action lawsuit. Also, the government could sue them. Let me tell you, and our friend Marvin Evans, the prophet, he actually went there and he showed where the place is still damaged. The place is still the way it was. Norway owns Equinox. They own that. Norway is very concerned right now about the environment. They have given millions of dollars to countries to help. They just gave Gabon, I think, hundreds of millions of dollars in terms of helping with carbon credits for their mangroves. They gave them, sorry, it was $90 million, I think it was, as relates to their mangroves. They gave it to Gabon. And so that's a country. And they have decided they're going to stop buying investments in stuff to do with oil, etc. If it would come to the world, what they have done in the Bahamas, it would embarrass them and it would cause them to pay us out. But of course, we have sellout politicians who are never, ever going to stand up against any foreigner because that's who they go to. They're going to say, listen, you see the damage you do here? Man, give me some money to keep me quiet. And then they're not going to worry about the damage. Our politicians don't care about us. But we need strong persons who are going to stand up for Bahamians, stand up for our environment, and stand up for what's going on, and treat us like a sovereign nation.
Thank you.
That is what we want. That's what we're going to stand up for. And so, yes, the damage is still there in Grand Bahama, and it's going to cause cancer and all kinds of other things. It's going to destroy our environment. I am worried more about the people than I am about the environment. Of course, I love the environment too, but there's a serious epidemic of cancer in Grand Bahama right now.
Yes.
All right? And so we got to fight for our people. There's a way to do this. You can keep voting for these puppets in coat suits, or you can vote for real Bahamians who want to make real change. That's the only way you're going to get this. Some people say we have ambitions. We just want to be prime minister. Didn't Brave want to be prime minister? Didn't Minister want to be prime minister? What do you mean we have ulterior motives? And the thing is, me and Maria don't want to be prime minister.
We just want them to do what's right.
That's all we want.
If they do what's right, they can tell them, go home and just relax.
Yeah. Doesn't Chester Cooper want to be prime minister?
Thank you.
When he do something, you don't say he's ulterior motives. Huh? Doesn't Pintard want to be prime minister? Oh, you think Shannon Dawn Cartwright don't want to be prime minister? Come on. But the difference with us and them is we are willing, and we have proven that we are willing to stand up for the Bahamian people. We've been persecuted for it. We've been prosecuted for it. We've had fake charges levied against us, fake lawsuits levied against us.
Family members that are upset with us.
Yes, because they're afraid.
Yes. Our lives, Lincoln.
With my last dying breath, I'm going to be speaking out for the Bahamian people. With my last breath. So in other words, brave them. You're trying all kind of stuff to discredit me. No, don't waste your time. You got to try to kill me. Because with my last dying breath, if y'all put me deep inside Fox Hill, I will be in Fox Hill fighting y'all.
No, you can't be there that long, and then we'll be outside. Campaigning people to come out.
We need change and strong people. We need that change. So thank you for your call. We appreciate that. Ladies and gentlemen, again, we need your support. We need your help to get this done. This has some extreme costs. We have some people who are making some serious sacrifices that you don't even know about. But do your part. Help this organization. Help this organization. So, ladies and gentlemen, we went over the normal time tonight.
See that?
We went above and beyond. I think this was a hot night.
Yeah.
We had to get some stuff straight. We had to stand up for people who are being sued. Right now, this is like the rapist suing the person who was raped.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they went to jail.
She took advantage.
Or because they wasn't satisfied.
She took advantage of the taxpayers' purse. She didn't do what she's supposed to do. And because of all of that, the government decided to let her go. Now she said, I am going to sue for this contract, which you never fulfill in the first place. Because we still ain't get the audit report. Because your contract comes with some other duties and responsibilities. What the law says, it ain't what we said, the law says. So I need to know if she did all these stuff and where these stuff are. She need to publicly disclose these contracts, all of the contracts. And I see now, with a man named Curlin, they call him Curlin name now. Say Curlin got one of the contracts. We need to see that. Heather Hunt get one of the contracts. We need to see that. Husband, we need to see all these contracts. Because Lincoln, I think we need to go form a committee, like what they have in London. We need to see who all get these contracts.
So we need, see, you can't go after minister. You don't go after the robber. You got to go after the police. And you got to make the police do his job.
Thank you.
Brave, you're in charge. You'll say a lot of things while I was out. You'll say you need to have commission of inquiry, which is a waste of time because it has no teeth.
Thank you.
But I say you can do your job. You in charge. You got the attorney general. Do your job.
Task force and all. They get so many avenues they could deal with, Lincoln. Task force. Various persons from different government agencies. What no other government is run. Put together a task force to do this investigation. From the police, all that. Like you say, it is. It is. It's just too much.
Yeah.
So we have another caller.
Go ahead. We'll take this last call, and then we got to run.
Hi, good night.
Good night. How you doing?
Hi, good night. I have a concern. I know it's talking about whatever is going on. I have a family member who had cancer, and she had a surgery, and she had they had to do get a major surgery with her or whatever. However, now it's time for them to reconnect whatever needs to be reconnected. And the hospital is saying that they don't have any gas, so she can't get her surgery done.
At the last part, I didn't hear the last part. You said the last part.
Now they're telling her she can't. She had a colorectal cancer, and they did the surgery where they had to move whatever and put the bag or whatever on her, and now it's time for her to get that rerouted, and now they're telling her that they don't have any gas in the hospital, so they cannot do her surgery. So she has to wait until whenever they get gas. They only have it for emergency, and they can't do anything until they get gas.
I don't understand what is it you're saying that you did. I hear you saying, she's saying gas?
They don't have any
No, I said
in the hospital to
Tell me.
do
What?
sister surgery.
They don't have any gas in the hospital to do your sister's surgery?
Hello?
Is that what you're saying?
Yes, I'm saying that I have a family member, right, who had cancer, and they did a surgery.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's time for them to correct the surgery because she had a rectal cancer. And because of that, they had to put the bag on her. And now it's time for them. Now it's over like a month or whatever. She went to get it, rerouted back to, where it should be. And they're now saying to her that they don't have any caps. They only have caps for emergency patients. So, which means that she will have to be walking around with the bag and them. But they have caps. They didn't even give her a date to say when they will be able to reroute, what they did.
Wow. Come see me tomorrow. So you could let me know what's going on in more details. If you need legal assistance, then we could go in that direction. But come see me tomorrow. You could call the same number on the screen to arrange it tomorrow, and I'll talk to you so we could break down exactly what you need, so we could fight your battle.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you so much. There's so much Bahamians going through so much in this country, and really, I want to thank you for standing with us, the Bahamian people, and fighting the way you do. Taking all the criticism and everything else. I want to thank you for what you're doing. Even if you don't get the reward now, you can get it on the other side of eternity. And that's what you do it for. We do this not for any gain. We do this because it's the right thing to do.
Yes.
And if we get a reward, we know we're going to get it somewhere. But we want to thank all of you for tuning on, for spending your entire evening with us. We're going to see you next Tuesday. We want you to go there and study carbon credits. Don't fall for the tricks of this PLP government. The plan is that they're going to go into carbon credits, they're going to go in, but they're going to try to make sure you don't benefit from it personally.
That's what I'm tired of. Only a select set of people in this country is benefiting from our things. The taxpayers things like that.
Yes. They're gonna talk it down and make you think, but only this, there's some money available, but only this ain't enough for all us. They're gonna talk it down while they're benefiting and making the billion. Ladies and gentlemen, our country just existing without doing anything, the Bahamas is worth billions just because of carbon credits. Without selling a grain of sand, the Bahamas is worth billions. Without selling an ounce of aragonite, the Bahamas is worth billions. Without touching our limestone, the Bahamas is worth billions. Yet they're going around to the world begging, like a bunch of beggars. Oh, the investors are interested in Bahamas, but not in Grand Bahama. They're having big argument all day today. Now it's assembly arguing with investors. We need to be the investors, man. It's time to flip this script. We are going to be the investors. We are going to be the lender and not the borrower. We are going to transform our nation. And we need Bahamians to stand up with us to make sure this happens. Real, true Bahamians. Remember, Crown Land, time to take that back. Let's take our Crown Land back. Okay? Take this back. If you don't build on this land, every piece of land in Nassau and on the Family Islands could be gone. Then millions of people from elsewhere is going to come, and you will never get it back because the courts can protect them. Your own Bahamian court people is going to protect them. If you don't take this, I want every Bahamian to take this seriously. We only got one country. When all this land gone, that's it. And once they've squatted there for 12 years, that's theirs. Nothing you could do to take that back. Bahamians take this seriously. Go find Crown Land and take it. Take it. It's ours. Start building on it. This is the new movement.
That's right.
This is a rebel movement. We're going to take this country back. And thank you for spending your entire evening with us. If you need us, the easiest way to get us is to call the office. There's a number on the screen. You call the office. We're getting so much calls that it's hard to manage. So if you don't get a return call, it's not that we're neglecting you. It's that we're just getting so much people are hurting. Call the office, they'll arrange it, and you get to see us or do whatever you need to do. Bahamas, we wanted to make that change. And so I'm going to leave you with that little video before we play our music videos for you all there. With that little video where they had this big bash. Show them the pictures, producer. They had a big bash in Grand Bahama. We can't have John Canoe with thousands. We can't have John Canoe, but Sheryl Crow having concert. Still, it is Bahama. They still having concerts for thousands of people. But just us don't deserve nothing. Just us. See, the problem isn't the entertainer, that's coming. The problem is Bahamians arranging that.
Yeah.
The problem in this country that you have in is you're Bahamian. That's your problem. That's what needs to change. They treat you this way because you're Bahamian. You're the only organization who's going to stand up for Bahamians. They ain't got the pictures? Show them, producer, you ain't got the pictures? Show them the pictures, man. Let them see the big bash they had on our beach. The big
sure,
bash.
on the taxpayers' beach?
On the taxpayers' beach, on my beach, on your beach.
Don't forget about that beach.
This big jam going on.
Who beaches is Lincoln?
That's Pirate Cove in Grand Bahama. It's a beach.
I can put that area.
Yeah.
So, Brenda, you know anything about that?
Big bash. We can't have that to that. I mean, I was again anyway. But why when Bahamians ask for something, it's no. When the foreigners ask for it, it's yes. Yo, look at that.
Man, but you think Michael
Pinta,
I see that. But you think Michael Pinta them know that was going on?
Yeah, they know. Where the pictures, producer? You ain't got the pictures?
Any of the politicians have been there?
It was right there.
So where the police? Police.
See the pictures? Look here. Look here. Beach crunk. Look at that. But we can't have decks of that because we Bahamian. Bahamians walking around serving their drinks, etc. Look at that. Crunk. Big concert. This just happened.
Oh, Lincoln, I don't believe that.
This just happened.
They have permission for that concert?
Right in Grand Bahama. Look here. Man, listen. Later, I think this was a week and a half or so ago. In fact, play the video you was going to play when I told you it's the wrong video. Play that video so they can see.
Yeah, but Lincoln, they advertise this. Man, Lincoln, they advertise.
Look at the video.
But they advertise this, man.
Look at that. Going down. Huh? You see any social distancing? Show me one mask out there on that beach.
Seeing you clearly, I can clearly back where we were when the sun
Maria, show me a mask.
was still dancing
Anyway, we're gonna bring him in time and make him business, right? Because trust me, this gotta be fake news. This ain't real. This ain't happened this year. Ain't no COVID in this picture. Because I ain't seen no mask.
Groove Cruise, go to their website and go to their Facebook page, and you can see they just posted this just happened.
Amen. I believe in that Lincoln. I'm just saying.
February.
I need to see.
Because Brave will never let that happen.
Thank you. Mr. Davalu know nothing but that. Dr. Davalu know nothing about that. They ain't know nothing but that. They might get no permission.
You saw that video?
I saw it. But anybody man no mask.
Producer play the video again.
I see no social distancing. Lincoln being, I don't believe you tonight.
Maria, I give you $100 for every mask you find in there.
I find no mask.
Let's go. Play it again, producer.
I find no mask.
And the Indians there walking around, serving them, looking them, they all look good. here, no next to that. This Grand Bahama.
When the sun came up.
Look at that.
Well, they did a good job. And they showed in advertisers. I see why this going on.
One mark.
Suddenly my eyes are seeing
Okay. Penny Bikini.
you clear back where we were when the sun came up and we're still dancing together.
I was about to say.
I see, you know, so we just wanted to show you the hypocrisy. See, Shaggy is still having a concert.
When Shaggy concert?
Man, you ain't going. We got to protest.
I protest in that one too.
Resort World Bimini. He's having a concert on February 26th. Shaggy.
Only 30 people is allowed.
No? Y'all like 30 people to you?
No, but only 30 people is allowed. The Shaggy concert. We got to cancel out all these concerts.
Sheryl Crow is having a concert. All kind of concerts happening. But foreigners planning those so they could have it. Bahamians, y'all get nothing. Whether it's a whole day or a new day, you get nothing. Keep voting for it. I see Alan Johnson is on here talking about brain solutions and not more linguistic contortionism. I don't know if he's talking to us or if he's talking to me. Listen.
Why they don't come up with, look here. Why every time you talk, these people like to criticize it? As I see that, Adrian was criticizing you. Listen to me.
Call him my name.
Okay, sorry. My fellow Bahamians, you all please come up with some solutions, right? Me and Lincoln right here, we need help, right? Instead of criticizing us, let's sit down, come together, come up with some solutions, please. That's all.
What they want is praise.
Yeah.
They don't want to take the sacrifice of having to stand up because they don't want to lose their little job, their contract, they want to sell out, but they want praise.
And criticizing.
All right? They don't want to take the beating and the chafing that you will take, but they want praise. We don't have time for that.
Thank you.
One thing we do is take action. All right?
And we need help.
I don't want to hear that you know about this or that for the last 20 years. What did you do in the last 20 years?
Thank you very much. Thank you.
When did you stand up? When did you get locked up for it? I don't want to hear about what you know for the last 20 years. Huh? Because if you didn't do something, you wouldn't have been here. Get off your old backside and go do something. And stop sitting around and talking and hating on people when they fighting for the Bahamian people. Be a part of the solution.
That's right.
Not a part of the problem.
Thank you.
We tired of talks. That's why we didn't talk. That's why we went to Bay Street and dealt with them. That's why we went to R.M. Bailey Park and dealt with them. That's why we went to Government House. We didn't come talking about this. That's why we bring the documents and drop it on Government House.
Thank you.
And they them the back talk us. Huh? We filed for Commission of Inquiry. We reported it to the FBI. What action you want?
Thank you.
Huh? Huh? How much time you want us to get locked up? Huh? What have you done?
Thank you. See this?
But call every single talk show and talk.
See this?
Talk. Beat up your gum.
You tired?
I don't want to hear about no one who was talking about this and that for 20 years. What did you do?
Thank you.
For 20 years. Action brings results.
Thank you.
Huh? Martin Luther King was the first person talking about civil rights. But he said, if I can't eat in this restaurant, you're going to lock me up.
Thank you.
And they tell us if we go on Bay Street, you lock up. We say, stop, lock us up. Commissioner of Police try to stop us. Say, get out of my way. We don't have time for foolishness.
Thank you.
This is a real man movement. It's a real man movement, and we need change.
And we need help. We need foot soldiers. You're always criticizing us. Every day we get complaints. And guess what? See, Alan, you in Grand Bahama, you know how much issues y'all have in Grand Bahama? Huh?
The oil all over the ground.
Right, all over the ground. Go deal with that. You'll get all kind of men in Grand Bahama. Huh? Marvin needs some help. The Evans man. Go in Grand Bahama and make changes. Huh?
Every single day, Bahama Rock digging up our limestone right in Grand Bahama. And these people talk about how much information they got, and I'm saying, no, what you could do about it?
Thank you.
What you could do about it?
Thank you.
We had one activist, when we started fighting with this, he said, oh, I've been doing this for 30 years.
Yeah.
I've been talking about the flats and the natural resources. And then when we say, okay, yeah, we've been talking about that, that's it, Bay Street. He said, oh, I can't go on Bay Street because I just get one project. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
I just get one project. And if they just give me this, and so if I do it, they're going to take it away from me. I said, you saying you selling out?
Thank you.
I said, glad you sell out before the movement started and after.
Thank
Because
you.
there ain't no project they could offer me.
Thank you.
That's better than my Bahamians getting $100,000 a year.
Thank
so that's
you.
benefiting from our natural resources. You know, project they could offer me, y'all keep that.
Thank you.
If they offer me $1 billion right now, I tell them no. Give the Bahamian people what's theirs.
Yes.
All right? And the man come, well-known activist, and say, oh, I just get a project. You know, we can't go there and fight for the natural resources. But all this information for all this 20 and 30 years, but now it's time to fight. You can't do that because they can mash you up. Huh? Because they give you, and guess what? The project never come off the ground, and they never really gave it to him. You see, that's what these sellouts don't understand.
Thank you very much.
They just promise you, and you don't never get it.
And a promise is a comforter. Fool.
Mr. Fool.
All right? The project, they never did anything. And the government changed. And so now they're sucking up to this government now. But they never got nothing. We need real soldiers. So I don't want no one who's been talking for 20. If you've been talking for 20 years and they ain't doing nothing, who's a joker? We need real Bahamians to stand up for this country.
And look at you get a point, you know. Soon as we come out and start being in the forefront of things, all these people that have been there years ago, see, I mind, you know, but come to the forefront and educate the Bahamian people. But they won't do that. They want to stay and they want to keep all of their information, look at this, to themselves, and they want to go in the grave with it. While we trying to educate the Bahamian people. Why? Why some Bahamians just want to keep the knowledge to themselves? This ain't right. Look at me and you went to school in England. The information we get, we sharing it with the Bahamian people. I am not going to the grave with it. I need to tell the Bahamian people everything I learned. Because I want the next generation to be able to fight for our teens in this country. But like you say, 20 or 30 years, that's when I get all kind of information. As soon as you tell them, put something together, you can't find them. Huh? No talks. Talks. We tired with talks. Bring us documents and let's go downtown and make a change in this country. Where are the Celine Oscar Pinlins? Where are the Marla Butlers? Where are the Adie Hannas? Where are the women them suffrage movement in this country? Huh? We can't force this government to give us one horseful, 100 acres to women in this country. Man, See, Alan, we need help. We need help. We need a new horseful. Could you come and help us fight for that? We need one in Grand Bahama, and we need one in Nassau. You're criticizing? Come and help us out. That's all I have to say, you know. I'm tired.
And so we started talking. I heard them say another fella was on a live, you know, talking about us, what we accomplished, et cetera. We've accomplished a lot.
Thank you.
Yes. I've never lost a battle that I have fought, ever. I fought many impossible battles in this country. And won all of them.
Let me ask you something. They say what battles you fought. You remember the female would come to the grandma to get the child back? I guess they see that need a. We never do nothing. As y'all can say, we ain't never do nothing there. But you know what is so good about it? The Bahamian people is very appreciative of some of the stuff on me and they get it. We get voice notes every day telling us thanks.
So I can let y'all hear the voice of that person who said, you know, we never did nothing. We'll get to them right now. Or they ask the question, call ask the questions, I'll get to this right now. Sorry, we keep going. You know, and that person, you call their name, but I won't call their name.
Yeah, don't call it name.
Said that, you know, what we did. I'll tell you what they did. Maria, when we started this movement and started getting serious, everyone was coming together, everyone started working together. When we started releasing the documentaries, that person became jealous. And because it was on the TV station, that person was out there in public trying to make it look like he was on our side. And he was in this fight and he was willing to do this. But he actually went to go to the extent of calling and sending a voice note to Sabas to tell Sabas to don't put the documentaries that expose all this was going on. Don't put the documentary out there. He started telling all kind of lies, like cause Michelle Malcolm to get fired and I don't know what I'm talking about and that kind of stuff. You know, he was a snake behind and that annoyed Sabas. You know, that he did that. All right? And I'm talking with you, Adrian.
Who actually talk about?
Adrian Francis, don't come for me. All right? This is no game. Because while the fellow was there pretending to be fighting for the people, all we did is put some documentaries out, you know. Highly acclaimed documentaries. Y'all listen to when the documentary was put out. Watch how the jealous snake went behind our back and called Sabas and send him a voice note. Listen to this. Let me make sure the volume up for y'all.
Lincoln know enough facts with some of these things that he's doing Sabas. And so I wanted to make sure Clint say, because I was just about to send you a voice note before you send me that. But I wanted to make sure that Clint stay on point and watch all the accusations that Lincoln knows are putting out in these documentaries. And I just wanted you to make sure, just say to Clint to be very careful and to edit very carefully all the things that he's doing. Lincoln is a very, very cunning fella. He calls Michelle his job, calls Shanique Miller her job. And so he goes on the edge, but he don't consider sometimes broadcasting rights and people's names and stuff. So let's just make sure that you protect Clint and protect the station and all that's happening, eh? Blessings, my friend.
This is the day after he was out there supporting us with the documentaries. This is, and guess what? That evening, he had me on his live, praising me and saying how powerful this documentary is and all that kind of stuff. We got to work together. We got to come together. But I don't know if y'all heard that clearly. All right? I don't know if y'all heard that clearly from that phone. But this is what you have to deal with in this country by some people who are saying they're activists, but then they sell out for some pocket change. We promised you from the beginning we was going to expose some of these people, but guess what? We're going to do that. But this go round, we need real, strong Bahamians who are not going to sell out, who are not going to accept job. If you see them accept job, listen, that's a sellout, man.
Lincoln, you know what I'm so shocking about this whole thing? They never say nothing but the documents you produced.
They can't.
Incorrect. That's what they can't say.
They can't.
You see?
Because the documents are perfect. The documents are perfect.
Please do our research.
All right? And no one could have questioned that.
Thank you. We do our research.
All right? So I can play that for y'all one more time. So I'll play it again for y'all one more time. But that's what, you know, and then the person, you know, went out there and tried to disrupt, you know, what we were doing and that kind of stuff and all that. But not everyone who says they're an activist is an activist. There was a lot of traders in that whole thing. And we ignored them, you know, never said a bad word about them.
Yeah.
We just kept moving. That's all we did. All right? And I got flack. I was told by people to destroy them.
Yeah.
I said, no, I ain't destroying my black people. All right? But it's still coming. they're still letting the politicians convince them to do wrong. So let me play this for you all one more again.
Lincoln know enough facts with some of these things that he's doing spas. And so I wanted to make sure Clint say, because I was just about to send you a voice note before you sent me that, but I wanted to make sure that Clint stay on point and watch all the accusations that Lincoln those are putting out in these documentaries. I just wanted you to make sure, just say to Clint to be very careful and to edit very carefully all the things that he's doing. Lincoln is a very, very cunning fella. He calls Michelle his job, calls Shanique Miller her job, and so he goes on the edge, but he gonna consider sometimes broadcasting rights and people's names and stuff. So let's just make sure that you protect Clint and protect the station and all that's happening, eh? Blessings, my friend.
This while fighting, this while
he's on Bay Street. Ooh.
All right, and so there's more I could say. I can leave it right there for now because you know I normally don't respond to these kinds of things. But I can leave it there for now. And if I have to go further, all right. But I just wanted to say to this, and we have sucked it up when we had a lot of people going after us with jealousy and that kind of stuff. We sucked it up and left it, you know. But all I'm saying to anyone who feels like they've been doing this for so long, they have a right to be recognized. We've always recognized it. Everyone over-recognized them. All right? And when that person betrayed us like that, everyone wanted to get rid of him. All of the activists. We didn't bring this out in public. They wanted to get rid of him. They didn't want nothing to do with him. Maria called me.
That's right.
See, when Maria tell me do something, I do it. And I tell her do something, she's do it. She called me and said, Lincoln, the fella say he know what he do. He want to come back and bring all us together.
Yes.
And Maria say, come to the meeting. I say, I tired of getting backstabbed by these people. She say, come. And because she say, come, I went. And that's when we had the big picture with all us coming together. And guess what? Right after that,
backstab again.
Backstab again. But this is a serious movement that's going to take real Bahamians. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, Lincoln, yeah. The meeting would be being into Cable Beach. And my fellow Bahamians, yeah, we had a lot of snake. You know what Lincoln tell me? He was in good in the Delhi Beach. And trust me, those men, them lied on Lincoln. I think it was 5 of them were going against you, eh? I said, you must have been in a different meeting, eh? Huh? You had to be in a different meeting. Good thing I was there. I said, Lord, these niggas. I said, yes, these niggas them can lie. Trust me. And they turned the whole story around. I was quite shocked when I heard. I can't call a couple of people because a couple of them was helping them. Candidates. Can't even go there.
So all I said is to say is that this is going to take a big fight. This is a fight.
Yes.
And, you know, Finland and those were worried about, you know, the sellouts and people who were gonna sell out the movement, etc. And, you know, that's what they were really worried about. And we have the same concern now. If this movement really is going to happen, you're going to stop just listening to everyone who just show up and come and you think that they really care about the movement. I will tell you this. They don't. They couldn't care less. People sell out for chump change. They're asking every Bahamian to stand up. I don't need credit for nothing. I don't need no one to credit me for nothing that I've done. I don't need anyone to credit me for anything. Listen, y'all could take all the credit. Give it to Brave, give it to Minutes, whatever. Just give us our natural resources. And I don't need no one to ever talk with me ever again.
Thank you very much. I agree.
I don't even need to be Prime Minister. I don't need to have no position in government. All I need is for Bahamians to get our natural resources. How about that? So we want to thank you all. Yeah, we want to thank you for joining us tonight. We just had that little piece in there. It's more, you know, We got to say there's more battles we got to fight. But this is going to take real soldiers. So when you see people come in and then start trying to kick up fuss and all that, they will pay it off. When you see people, you know, kicking up all this fuss and saying this and saying that, they will pay it off. You know, we have one ambition, and that's for Bahamians to be first in this country, for us to benefit from our natural resources. I have no other ambition. Give us that and prove us wrong.
That's right.
Give us that and prove us wrong. Listen, get, you know, $100,000 a year from our natural resources, our carbon credits, etc. And listen, you all go have the headache of managing that.
That's right.
You all go deal with that. Just make sure we get what's ours. That's it. That's it. Make sure we get our crown line. That's it. Make sure Bahamians first.
That's right.
Thank you for joining us tonight. We had a very interesting one tonight. This was a long marathon one.
Oh, yes.
So we had a lot to deal with tonight. God bless all of you all. See you all. Someone had a question. I'm sorry, I don't want to feel like snub them. One more. Where the question was? Someone's asking why investors won't invest in Grand Bahama. There's a couple of reasons. Grand Bahama is run by a country within a country, and that's, you know, that's funny for a lot of investors. Although investors have invested in that situation, a lot of them are like, that's kind of tricky. So
they have to go to
you're the government,
authority.
but I got to go to the port authority, and how does this work? And so they see that there's a big fight, and they watch stuff. Businessmen watch what's going on. They see that, you know, the port authority has not been stable for a long time, and so they're not going to come there unless they feel that other things are going to come there. Other business is going to happen to make it worth doing business. They can't operate in a vacuum, and this is what the problem is.
Excuse me, they should have asked the Alan Johnson a question. They should have asked him a question.
And so I know I attempted with some partners to invest in Grand Bahama to buy that hotel. The government, through corruption, went with someone else. The partners were willing to invest in Grand Bahama over $1 billion. The office of the Prime Minister met with us. They wanted them to invest, but the partners were they felt snubbed and wronged by how the corrupt deal allegedly happened and caused someone else to get the hotel deal. And so they were like, you know what? We're going to go somewhere else. And they did. All right. And so they're crying now with no investment. There was $1 billion on the table to invest in Grand Bahama. And my team did it. I have all this in writing, paperwork, proof of everything. I don't say nothing that I can't prove. And so the FNM, through corruption, you know what happened. Ladies and gentlemen, we sick of this. If you like what you've been getting, then keep getting it. If you want to keep getting swing, every election you get swing, then keep getting swing. But if you want something different and you want something new, let's do something different and let's do something new. Ladies and gentlemen, change isn't coming. Change is here. See you next time. Yes.
And it's Bahamians unprepared to stand up and fight and defend their own Bahamas, then you don't deserve to have it.
Now let that sink in. Come on. Change ain't coming, change is here. You can hear it, you can feel it in the air. All politicians, put your hands in the air. Just a stick up, let me make myself clear. I'm a grown man talking, so you know what to do. No one's leaving till we figure out the truth. Why you laughing? This ain't nothing funny. See, no one gets to go home till we figure out this money. Change ain't coming. Change is here. They say change ain't coming, but change is here. They say change ain't coming, but change is here. They say change ain't coming, nigga, change is here. Now if you ain't standing with us, then I know you against us. Bahamas, this ain't no time for us to be lukewarm. This is war, and we riding through the storm. Come on. Let's go. Shalom to all my Hebrew brothers, to all my Muslim and pastors, we need you, forget the Christians. Let's put our differences aside, cause it's a bigger mission. See, they've been doing it for years, trying to separate us, kinda trying to keep us down and never elevate us. Now it's time to praise the Lord, cause he's about to take us over to the promised land where we can celebrate us. I got to do it for my kids that ain't even born yet. So the minute that they born, they already gotta check that check. Gotta have that time to collect, so they won't know how it feels to have that yoke around their neck. Yeah. See, y'all been robbing my grandmother, my great-great-grandmother and grandfather. It's like y'all can't get enough. Y'all just keep eating and eating and giving it. Y'all went even as far as to say that this country's in debt and we ain't got no money. But 9 times out of 10, everybody in this country's possibly a millionaire. It's time to wake up. Let's talk about natural resources, cause every time we bring it up, they say hold your horses. They say it ain't worth a thing, but it's worth a fortune. Meanwhile, they open up their businesses across the borders. Oh yes, we track their bank accounts across the waters. They say this country in debt, but they making millions. If we don't stop this now, they be up to billions. It's about to go down and I get the feeling we gotta cut a movie on these dirty villain information. It's like everything changed, everything went quiet. It's like so much facts and they can't deny it. They rather keep their mouths shut before they start a riot. Now look how they trying to just steal the oil. They don't wanna share with none of y'all. They been robbing us while we were sleeping. Send them to jail cause they failed, they committed treason. Change ain't coming. They say change ain't coming. The change is here. They say change ain't coming. The change is here. They say change ain't coming. No, the change is here. Listen, for free. There's no more time for us to sit back and be quiet. You understand? This is war. If they only knew who we were, if they only know who we are, they would know we are warriors. No retreat, no surrender. Just give us what you owe us. Bless the Lord, oh my soul. I feel this all the way to my ancestors. We are warriors. We only really want what's owed to us. You get it? Now free up.
Can't keep doing the same thing over and over and expect a different result. That's called insanity. Change ain't coming. Tell the people change is here. We taking what is ours. We ain't never scared. We gonna fight for our rights. Ain't no backing out. The Bahamas loving how we got this real blackout. Taking our country back, not living so hopeless. Vote for Lincoln Bain, our Bohemian Moses. A real leader coming with the vision and the plans. Let's take a stand, every Bohemian woman, child, and man. The people can't be crying and hurting and jobless. Don't be fooled, y'all know the parties that cause this. Vote for COI for changing the office. We fighting for our rights and our natural resources. The people can't be crying and hurting and jobless. Don't be fooled, y'all know the parties that cause this. Vote for COI for the change in the office. We fighting for our rights for our natural resources. Yeah. Stand up and make a change. Yeah. For Bohemians everywhere. Make a change. We gonna make a change. Change is here. We gotta quit with tradition and let's go forward a mission to build a better Bahamas for all the children that live in. They sell our country and land and give it to all the foreigners. Keep Bohemians suppressed because they think we're not good enough. So we're making a stand, throw up a fist with a hand. Stand united as one nation under the sun. We the people fighting for the new Bahamas. We bring the facts, but they wanna bring the drama. They can go and put a sign on every corner, but the cry of the people will be louder. Stand up and make a change. For Bohemians everywhere. We gonna make a change. Change is here. Stand up and make a change. For Bohemians everywhere. We gonna make a change. Change is here.